into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Good morning, you beauties. It is a Tuesday morning. I think we've got too much energy that we know what to do with this morning, and that is a good thing. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. And yes, it's going to get a little spicy as we delve into our saucy relationship topic. And today we are focusing on work husbands. How are you, hubby?
I'm so good, my hubby. Look at this man, so handsome and black. It's wonderful to be with you. Yes, work husband, work wives. How close is too close? Which boundaries need to be in place not to upset the apple cart at home? You know what I mean? And I've got a feeling that we are going to get some controversial comments, and we cannot wait for them.
We want them. Awesome. We demand them.
We demand them.
We want it to be as spicy as possible. And then, speaking of which, of course, we're going to hop back into the kitchen where we're going to kind of temper the storm with some chili cheese. You got to do it. Some beautiful flatbreads that are going to blow your mind, as well as lactose-free hash brown waffles. I love me a waffle. This is a great option that is a little, I suppose, lighter on the tummy. And we've got today's lunchbox sorted for the big people and the little people.
For everyone. And then, of course, entertainment. We are bringing it full force with you today. This morning, ahead of the Journey to Jazz Festival. We're going to find out all about that. We are spoilt with the sounds from Darren English. Yes, if you don't know the name, well, stick around. You will very soon.
It's going to be one of those kind of days. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And then, of course, we want you to stay tuned as we finally reveal, and this is a big one, the host of Tropica Island of Treasure. It's got to be one of the coolest gigs in the biz. I think, yeah, you go to an island.
So cool, so cool. So yes, if you've been wondering, if you've been following the socials, well, it's all going to come to light today. Stick around for that. And then, of course, we are joined by our other work husband this morning, Ryle, looking handsome himself, but he's got a bit of a pickle this morning. We need you to tell him what to wear today.
Oh, the boys coming through, giving us every reason to stick around for the next 3 hours. And I need you to come through this morning of Zanzi because, as always, it is Tuesday, and that means it's Tuesday. So you're going to help me choose one of the outfits of the day. We've got two incredible options out here, and you know what it's about, especially with Woolworths. They have this incredible commitment to authenticity, to quality, and to just allowing us to look good. So let's run through the options right now, all right? So option number one, obviously, we've got a beautiful option here. We've got the regular denims, so blue denims. We've got a crisp white t-shirt, right? So if you buy two of these, it's actually 99.95 and the denims are 499 Rand. So really coming through with exceptional quality that's not going to break the bank. And then we're going to add these beautiful blue sneakers to it, which I think is just going to pair this look off absolutely perfectly. So that's option number one. We've got another look here, and it's more of a mysterious kind of look, right? So it's a black tee accompanied by black denim jeans and white sneakers. And like I said, we're bringing on the mystery with this one. But the question is, can you help me choose the look that'll make all the difference? I want you to head over to the Expresso social pages and vote for your favorite look, but don't forget to include the hashtag Styled by Woolies. And this one is officially up to you, Mzansi. So cheers. I wish you luck, and I hope I look good. It's up to you.
Oh, my friend, we have no doubt that you will look good this morning. So as we put it out on the table a little bit earlier, we are going to get spicy today. We're talking about work husbands, work wives, but we want to have a conversation throughout the entire run of the show this morning. So we're going to put it to you, and hopefully you can open up and treat this as a safe place. We want to know, do you have a work husband or work wife? And you'll see it play out, especially entertainment on radio. We know a couple of those couples. But we'd love to know if you've got that person in the office at work that you really connect with. You've got that chemistry. And does your partner know about them? Ever get jealous, mind them, love them, best mates with them? How do you manage that dynamic? Please share your voice notes with us, 0634088863. I'm guessing we're going to get a few anonymouses this morning, and I love that. The more spicy, the better. Now, we're going to have some fun with this and hopefully help you understand this dynamic at work so you can work better and have better relationships. It's as simple as that. So keep those comments coming. But right now, let's give you a few talking points with those news headlines, then I'll delve into the sport.
Thank you so much, hubby. It is 4 minutes past 6 o'clock. Let's dive into your news headlines for the first time this morning. Starting off with your national news, Anglo American Platinum, the world's largest producer of the precious metal, plans to cut thousands of jobs in its mines in South Africa. Now, the cuts come after the company's profits slumped by 71%. Yesterday, Anglo American said it was embarking on a restructuring that could affect some 3,700 South African jobs. Anglo American CEO Craig Miller said the decision was very much a last resort and added, and I quote, "not least as we recognise the unemployment challenges in South Africa and the socio-economic impact that the proposed restructuring may have." And as SA gears up to have national and provincial elections between May and August, the South African Department or the South African Development Communities, the SADC's Electoral Advisory Council, is set to visit the country today. Now, this is part of a pre-election assessment of goodwill missions to member states that hold elections. The SADC Electoral Advisory Council will be led by its chairperson, Judge Ticheme Dlamini. The mission will assess the political and security environments to ensure that elections are free, fair, transparent, credible and peaceful. Making international news headlines this morning, animal welfare charities have welcomed an Africa-wide ban on the controversial donkey skin trade. It will make it illegal to slaughter donkeys for their skin across the continent. Demands for the animals' skins is fueled by the popularity of an ancient Chinese medicine called ejiao, made from donkey hides. Now, Africa's state leaders approved the ban at the conclusion of the African Union Summit in Ethiopia on Sunday. The charity, the Donkey Sanctuary, called the trade brutal and unsustainable and said it had decimated donkey populations around the world. And Alexei Navalny's widow, Yulia, yesterday vowed to continue his work to fight for a free Russia as she met European ministers in Brussels. Now, she also released a video calling on supporters to stand with her and blaming President Vladimir Putin for his death. She said she knew exactly why Putin killed Alexei and would release the information soon. Navalny, 47, had been in jail on charges widely viewed as politically motivated. His allies believe he was murdered on the orders of Vladimir Putin. And we'll end up with this story. Oppenheimer was the top winner of the night at the 77th British Academy Film Awards in London, and Poor Things secured 5 awards. Now, Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr. and director Christopher Nolan were recognized for their contributions to Oppenheimer. And despite having Parkinson's disease, Back to the Future star Michael J. Fox surprised attendees by presenting the Best Film Award. And despite being in a wheelchair, the 62-year-old insisted on standing at the podium to hand the prize to Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, eliciting a standing ovation and moving many to tears. Now, Davis Guggenheim's film, Still, a Michael J. Fox movie, was nominated for Best Documentary but lost out to 20 Days in Mariupol. That's your news headlines for the 6 o'clock bulletin. We'll have another round at 7 o'clock. Right now, Graham is standing by with the first look at your sports.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Let's get the tale of the tape with quite a broad perspective this morning. We start with some Super Rugby. In fact, the Crusaders have announced yesterday that New Zealand All Blacks standout Will Jordan faces a 6-month absence due to a shoulder injury. This is a massive blow, sidelining him for their Super Rugby Pacific season. The 25-year-old requires surgery for a pre-existing injury, dealing a massive blow to the defending champions as they commence their 2024 campaign under new head coach Rob Penny. And that's up against their old foes, the Chiefs, in Hamilton on Friday. They really could have used him. Bringing it a bit closer to home, the Bulls have secured utility back Devon Williams on a new 3-year permanent deal, extending his stay at Loftus Versfeld until 2027. So initially on loan from the Pumas, the 31-year-old has impressed in both the United Rugby Championship and Champions Cup. He has been a star, and his versatility certainly adds depth to the Bulls' back line, showcasing prowess at fullback and on the wing. Pretty handy with the boot. He is a star to watch. Now let's head a little further afield and touch on some footballing news. And in a crucial clash between relegation-threatened sides Everton, the midfielder Amadou Onana and of course Luton Town, Amadou Onana salvaged a 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace with a very late equaliser. So the Eagles, under their new manager Oliver Glasner, took the lead through Jordan Ayew, putting pressure on Everton. However, Onana's goal lifted Everton out of that relegation zone, edging them just above Luton on goal difference. And staying with footballing news, this is quite an interesting one and possibly worth a laugh, maybe not for Dan Ashworth. Newcastle sporting director Dan Ashworth has been placed on gardening leave amid reports of his desire to join Manchester United. That's enough to get you kicked out. Ashworth's departure comes as Ineos chairman Jim Ratcliffe now seeks to bolster United's football leadership, with recruitment a key focus, and clearly he has started his work. Ashworth, who previously held roles at the Football Association and Brighton, has been at Newcastle for 20 months, and he was appointed by the club's Saudi-backed owners after their takeover back in 2021, but he's on his way out. And that's where we leave our sport for this hour of the show. Brand new day, I would imagine, after yesterday. More fire and heat warnings today, so please take note of these very severe weather warnings, and then we'll get into the temperatures with Raul.
Well, thank you so much, G-Man. And yes, you are absolutely spot on. And reporting on weather news, with extremely hot weather being experienced, the SA Weather Service has once again forecast extreme high fire danger conditions expected in places over the central and western parts of the Eastern Cape, the central and Little Karoo, the southern part of the Cape Winelands, the Swellendam municipality of the Western Cape, parts of the Northern Cape, the western areas of the Northwest, as well as the western parts of the Free State. Now, heat wave conditions resulting in persistent high temperatures over the Free State, the eastern parts of the Northern Cape, and the south and west of the Northwest until Thursday. Now, on top of this, extremely hot conditions also expected in places over the central and Little Karoo of the Western Cape, the central parts of the Northern Cape, as well as the central and western parts of the Eastern Cape. Well, from our weather news, it's time to dive into one of our favorite parts of the morning, and that's our sunrise view of the hour. Now, for this morning's edition, to start us off, look at this beauty from Daphne Fredericks, all the way in Durban, and sending a powerful shot through to start the day and giving us all the energy that we need to get the rest of this day going. I absolutely love it, and I'm hoping that it will keep on coming. And you can use the number 063 408 8863 and keep sharing those incredible sunrise views with us so we can share it with the rest of the world. For now, though, it's time to take first gander at the temperatures and see what you can expect on your side of town.
Is that a record? I think that might be the highest we've seen it so far. Ooh, it
What's
is
up in
hot,
Uppington,
hot,
man?
hot.
42 degrees. Hydrate, people, but it looks like a hot day all around once
Yeah,
again.
just stay indoors.
For sure.
Stay indoors and pick your lucky numbers. That could be a good starting point, because you could be literally living your dreams with Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots estimated. It's a biggie today at a total 60 million rand. 60 million rand.
That is
Abby.
a lot.
Come
you know
on.
what my advice would be? When you purchase your ticket, just buy one extra.
Yes.
Just one extra.
For yourself,
Because
not
you
for
never
someone
know.
else.
No,
Don't
just,
give it
just
away.
that one extra.
For you. Okay, but of course you need to know how to play.
Exactly. You can play Powerball for an estimated 36 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 24 million rand. But if you want to stand a chance of winning the millions, then you need to get your ticket ASAP.
And it is so simple, and we will keep reminding you. In-store. Easy peasy. Nationallottery.co.za online. You can go to the mobile app. You can use your own cell phone banking app. Most of them have a little drop down now. Or you can simply dial *120 *7529 hash for the USSD. It doesn't matter how you do it, just do it. Please.
Exactly. We've made it easy for you as well. We have all the jackpot and ticket purchasing details on our Expresso social media pages. So go and check them out. 60 million rand in total estimated Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots are waiting to be won. Play now. Do you want to get in there right now?
Oh, please, man. It
Right
just
now.
kind of feels like your life could change so dramatically if you do that. Well, it'll change your life, the people around you's lives. It could be amazing. Now, speaking of which, there is a lot of amazing on the cards for the next 3 hours, and we're going to get our first little taste of amazing right now as we connect with Zanele, our gorgeous friend. I'm going to say our work wife. Estranged. At a distance.
Yeah.
We're trying to manage a long-distance relationship. Zanele, good morning, sister. How are you doing?
Good morning, my beautiful work husbands, the best work husbands in the world. All three of you in that beautiful studio. Guys, I absolutely love everything you've said is coming up this morning because it is going to be incredible indeed, Expresso family. We all know the only place to wake up in the morning is on the biggest and best breakfast show in the land. And that is why we're coming to you live from the Samsung showroom in Design Quarter in Johannesburg to bring you some of that Gauteng flavor, honey, as we get the morning started. But with that being said, let's take a look at what is coming up. First and foremost, we are going to be 100% getting into what I absolutely love, a hope of spot, a place rather that is full of hope, and that of course is False Bay, that was declared as a hope of spot in terms of the beautiful, incredible place that I honestly think that so many of us need to get to know about. And then we also are going to be getting into one of the things that I love, which is a new recipe. It is the chili cheese flatbreads. Have you ever had one? I know I haven't, which is why I need to hear about it. And it is coming up right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. But first, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back on the other side of this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is Tuesday, so let's dive straight into it. And let's dive deep into the world of ocean conservation with esteemed guests. We've got Mark Fitzgibbon in the building, our marine biologist at Cape Rad, as well as Helen Lockhart, a conservation and sustainability manager at the Two Oceans Aquarium. So yes, we are around ocean royalty, as they would say, and joining us to shed light on a groundbreaking effort of Mission Blue and the significance of False Bay's designation as a hope spot. Ooh,
Love
sounds
it.
exciting. Good morning.
Helen, Mark, good morning. Welcome. I love it how you emphasized esteemed.
Yes.
Because that's exactly what Mark is. It's lovely to have you guys here. And this is interesting because we've been trying to drag it out to you before we went live about Mission Blue. Helen, so talk to us. Mission Blue. What exactly is Mission Blue and the objective?
So Mission Blue is a global organization. It was founded by Her Deepness, speaking of royalty.
Her Deepness.
Dr.
That's
Sylvia
amazing.
Earle. She is 88, but she's a renowned oceanographer, marine biologist, explorer. She's done amazing things in the ocean, and she formed Mission Blue basically to raise awareness and to get more protection for the ocean. And at the core of Mission Blue are something called hope spots. And hope spots are what we're going to be talking about, the False Bay Hope Spot. But they're basically areas, protected areas for marine ecosystems that are critical for ocean health. So it's really, really very important. And what's exciting about hope spots is that they are nominated by communities, they're cared for by communities. So Mission Blue is all about basically inspiring action for exploring and protecting the ocean. So very, very exciting that we were able to host Mission Blue here in South Africa recently.
All right. Now, you speaking about like my home. I've been on this beach in False Bay specifically for all my life since a kid. And I'm a bit embarrassed because I believe that this actually happened in 2014 and I had no idea about it. So firstly, I'm feeling a bit like, why did I not get a chance to celebrate this? But I'm glad we are right now. What's the significance of obviously something like False Bay being declared a hope spot? What does that do for the actual area itself? What does that actually impact in the end of the day?
So I'm going to let Mark elaborate on this, but it is quite strange that it was 2014, which seems a very long time ago, and I'd actually even forgotten about it. I actually knew about the other hope spots, but I wasn't aware that False Bay was a hope spot.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And in 2014, Mission Blue weren't doing nominations yet. So they just identified certain areas around
Okay.
the world which are important and which are rich in biodiversity and interesting areas. So they designated False Bay as a hope spot. But like you said, no one knew about it. I didn't know about it.
So what is it about False Bay? What makes it such a crucial spot in terms of being declared a hope spot, in terms of also the ecosystem?
So False Bay is unique and extremely special, not just to South Africans, but to the entire world.
Okay.
It sits at this kind of intermediate section between the two beautiful oceans that surround South Africa. So there's a lot of mixing happening in there, and it creates these unique environments. And False Bay has the highest levels of endemism on our coastline. So you'll find things that you can find nowhere else in the world. Marine diversity, invertebrate diversity. There are shark species that are only found here. So it's a really special and unique space. And luckily, Mission Blue has, recognized the beauty of False Bay,
Yeah.
and hopefully that will strive for more protection.
And it's not just the beauty that we're talking about here, but there's also potential threats to this, I would imagine. I mean, there's so many external impacts that can affect and change environments. What sort of threats is an area like False Bay facing right now, if any?
Lots.
So, of course, pollution. I know we all know
Plastics.
about pollution. Plastic pollution is a problem all over the
Yeah.
world. And then I would also say fishing, overfishing and unsustainable fishing is a problem, not just in False Bay, but on our entire coastline. And then I think for False Bay uniquely, because it's right next to such a big populous city, Cape Town, it's one of the capitals, habitat destruction would also come into play. So there are these man-made problems that are affecting False Bay, and that's just why we need these hope spots to, identify these areas of hope so that we can protect them.
Yeah, it's one of the saddest things for me. I was in the ocean yesterday and, just seeing a piece of plastic float in the ocean or seeing somebody just randomly just drop something, it is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. So I really do hope that this can shed a new light on it. 159 hope spots around the world. So Helen, how exactly are they then identified? identified? I know like False Bay is unique in its own in terms of that biodiversity, but how do we identify a hope spot?
So yeah, they very much are about special areas that, as I said earlier, are critical for the ocean health. And basically they are areas that are nominated by communities and local organizations. So exactly, Cape Rad actually nominated False Bay Hope Spot in 2019, which is incredibly exciting because it kind of reignited the interest around False Bay. But what happens is that the community that is already working to protect that area gets nominates the area as a hope spot, and then it goes to a very special council with the IUCN, which is the International Union for Conservation of Nature. And Her Deepness, Dr. Sylvia Earle, she actually heads up that council, and they look at various things, scientific criteria, conservation criteria. Some of the things that they might ask is like, does the hope spot have high levels of endemism? As Mark said, are there animals and plants living there that don't live anywhere else in the world? Which is just, I mean, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
That, we've got this unique number of species that don't live anywhere else. So they'll ask questions around that. They'll ask, does this hope spot support important breeding and feeding grounds for animals? And then they'll also look at the human side of things. Is this hope spot significant for cultural reasons, historical reasons, spiritual reasons? And we know False Bay definitely has all of that. I mean, False Bay and the fishing communities that have lived there for many, many, many years. So great, history around False Bay. So those are some of the things that they look at. And then once the nomination goes through, then Mission Blue will support the community looking at helping with communications, expeditions, and scientific advisory.
Would love to get into that a little bit later. You guys are not going anywhere. There's still lots to talk about. But she sounds like the queen of Atlantis.
She is.
Exactly.
I can't wait to dive into more of this conversation. Obviously, we're going to find out more about Rad as well as everything happening in this coastline. But for now, though, I got to be honest, it's smelling delicious right now. I think it's time to head to the kitchen. Wow. Yeah.
I think we've just watched Nature Boy become Captain Planet. It's finally happening. It was about to. Now he is our spirit animal, and this is an amazing thing. So let's celebrate with food. Is it a bread? Is it a dumpling? We don't care. It's amazing. This kind of bread, cheese, chili combo is a timeless combination. We love it. It ties into any menu and can simply be enjoyed as a snack. It stands beautifully all alone. And today's recipe ticks every one of those boxes, giving you spicy, gooey, cheesy, and buttery. These cheesy, chili flatbreads are everything. And I say flatbread lightly because they could be a dumpling. Buddy,
it looks like a little red mountain.
It's a parcel of joy is what it is, my friend.
Exactly,
and we're going to climb that mountain.
Wow.
So in honor of our work relationship,
Okay.
we're going to guide each other through this beautiful recipe, buddy.
Okay.
You're on the bread duty, okay? So you got the flatbread duties. and
Right.
It's relatively
Tell me what to
simple.
do.
Okay, I'm going to work you through this, honey, because you're the man of action.
Thanks, baby.
Okay, that's
Okay.
what got us together initially.
Exactly,
Because I love the way you take control. Okay, so what you're going to do, my friend, you're going to make a little well in the middle of your flour. And then you're going to use about 2/3 of the yogurt, so you've still got some if you need to make the mixture a little bit wetter.
2/3?
Yeah, so we ultimately are making a little ball of dough. And that ball of dough we're going to then chop up into 4 smaller balls of dough, and we're going to flatten them out and then fill them with our chili, cheese, and our beautiful
So
green
I just
onion.
mix this now?
This is for the thing, yeah. So now you just mix it up and create your little dough ball, my friend.
All right.
It's as simple as that. And I love the fact with a flatbread, you often use the yogurt. I don't think we need any rising agents or anything like that. We just want a vehicle to carry the delicious filling. So on
Is
my
there something I
side,
should do with my hands, maybe?
you can get in there,
Hang
man.
on.
And there's a little cloth there. I prepared a little cloth for
Look
you,
at
hubby,
you.
just in case you need it.
He knows
Get
me so
stuck
well.
in and get your hands dirty if you have to. That's what baking is all about. It's tactile, and you get a sense, a feel for what works, I think. When we watch like the Jenny Morrises and Tando and all these amazing chefs we have on the show, when you see Nicole work the dough, they do it with feeding, with intuition as much as anything else. So we're trying to get to that place. So today I'm going to try and overcome my coriander demon, my friend. I've got to find the recipe that I can eat coriander in, okay?
all these years and still not.
We talk to the council all the time about it, and they haven't been able to come up with a solution.
I mean,
So-
I just want to cook a good meal for you, flavorful.
and I say, no coriander, no, I'm not ready. Okay, I'm going to warm this butter up in our microwave, and obviously we want some garlicky goodness.
So why did you say I only use 2/3?
Just in case you need to make it a bit wetter. So if you need
Well,
to, now you've
I
got a little
definitely
bit left. Do you want me to
definitely
squeeze some
need
in?
more. Please do.
There we go. You see, I think that was our first potential point of failure, and we passed the test, dude.
We did. We did.
didn't
Look at us.
lose
There was
all the yogurt.
no speed bumps there, nothing.
We've done it, my friend. How's our yogurt? Let's add a few. I mean, our batter. So we're going to be creating a beautiful drizzle to go on top with some grated garlic. And we've got some beautiful Molson salt here, and of course the coriander, which I'm going to chop up. If, like me, you are coriander averse, you can try, I would imagine, a nice herby herb, something that's got a bit of punch, maybe some Italian parsley I quite like. You want that kind of fresh herbaceousness to cut through the oil and the butter.
Lovely. And this flour, is this for kneading the dough?
Yeah, that's for once you're ready.
Okay, watch this now.
Oh, you see, this is when I fell in love with him, in one of these moments.
It's,
Just,
you know why? Oh, that didn't work.
that's when I knew he was the man for me. I love it. And of course, we do this because you want to break down the glutens here, break down those bonds, create a beautiful dough there. This is looking great. I'm going to give it even 30 more
Yes,
seconds.
you're really putting me to work this morning.
Oh, buddy, you're the right man for it, dude. I know all the surfing has got the muscles going. And now when we know we get to surf in such an iconic ocean that is a part of such a big thing, that is beautiful, absolutely amazing. All right, so we are winning at life.
We
That's
are.
looking pretty good, dude.
I know, right?
Then you're going to roll it out,
Okay.
and you're going to divide it into 4 sections.
Okay. Okay. This is
You're getting up for a workout this morning. I think I might have dodged a bullet with this one. There we go. Now that's looking beautiful. Well done, son. And I'm going to grate some garlic and don't
Shouldn't
be
you let this
shy.
rise? Or but there's no yeast in there.
Yeah,
right?
no, we want it as flat, and we're literally going to cook it on the pan.
So okay. So I'm just rolling it here. I hope this is
That's
okay. Listen,
perfect.
this is done at speed.
Yeah,
okay?
completely. And
Normally you would take your time a little bit with it.
spend the time, the quality time together in the kitchen. I think once you've got enough for one, maybe chop out a section there just so we can show the people
Okay.
how we're going to fill this little baby.
Oh,
And
so
then,
so we just kind of around.
there we go.
Is it a round one that you want?
Yeah, I think because we're going to have to roll it into a round shape. Fold up the edges over. There we go. Oh, smell that garlic.
Listen, it'll be funny, but I mean, this dough came out really good.
Don't think you've smashed it, dude. You absolutely smashed it.
Okay.
Okay, cut us a little section out there that we can
With your
create
coriander.
our first magical parcel.
So I can just freehand it.
Yeah, just do it, man.
Oh my gosh. Come on, buddy. I'm going to just
Got this.
use my own
Ooh.
discretion here. I can actually make it a little hard, right? Seeing we're all still in the month of love.
You're going to have to fold the edges over, so give yourself a little bit of a
Well, too
enough
bad.
to.
It's
There we
done
go.
now. But,
Okay. Okay, now you're going to place and stretch that out and place your little cheese, spring onion and chili. There we go. We've got some salt going on there. And here we've got our gorgeous drizzle for the end. Absolutely amazing.
okay, look at that. So
Oh, that's looking perfect, my friend. Absolutely
come on.
perfect.
Come on.
All right, so now don't be too generous, I think, with the filling. We don't want it to explode
Okay,
out.
so a little bit of cheese and a little bit of spring
cheese,
onion
a little bit of chili, and isn't this the perfect combo?
and a little bit of that.
Yeah, the chili, and that's the chili onion crunch, which is absolutely amazing. But we just want that little bit of heat there. And maybe a little bit of smokiness would go quite well.
And then?
Something like smoked chili first, and I'll fold it over.
Like just
Yeah,
like
close it up. Yeah.
Oh, like in like this.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
And
that.
mold those little bits of dough together so it stays nice and close. When I said it's almost like a dumpling.
I was about
but
to say.
not, hey? And then flatten that guy out. And then pop that. Oh, can you sense the magic that is coming?
I can
my friend?
sense it.
Now pop him on the pan.
Really?
And cook on either side until nice and brown and crispy. And then we get this gorgeous flatbread that is filled with absolute deliciousness, and then you drizzle it with your coriander or whatever your herb
Look at
kind of
that.
butter is. Absolutely amazing.
Okay.
I kind of feel like we need to see what one of these guys looks like on the inside, eh?
You filled a hole in my heart.
Oh, look at that.
That's so cheesy.
I can see right through you.
Cheesy.
I can see right through you.
All right,
Absolutely
listen,
beautiful.
We're gonna finish this up. We're gonna taste in just a minute, but stick around right here on the Feel Good Breakfast Show. Raul, what do you have for us, my friend?
Oh, yeah, the boys looking like they're putting something spectacular together. It's like a parcel of goodness. I'm pretty impressed how well you actually did that too. So well done on that, and well done on sticking around, Mzansi, because we've got so much to still look forward to on your Feel Good Breakfast show. We got Varsity Cup action that's kicking off, and then I still need your help. You need to come through, help me find my perfect look of the day. I know I can leave this one up to you, and I know you're going to make me look good. So come through, Mzansi, and I think on that note, I'll say cheers. Thank you for the future look you're going to present to me.
Only you can make my day. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You are tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on S3, and from beautiful flatbreads filled with all things delicious, we are now focusing once again on our oceans, and we are continuing our discussion on ocean conservation with Helen Lockhart, Conservation and Sustainability Manager at Two Oceans Aquarium, and also Mark Fitzgibbon, Marine Biologist at Cape Rad. Now, they are sharing insights into the profound impact of embracing hope spots. Lovely. Welcome back. Having a good time so far?
Yes.
Yes, and we look forward to sharing your flatbreads later.
Yes, absolutely. We made them just for you, Mark,
Yeah,
just for you.
Thank you.
Listen, but let's get down to business here. So we had a lovely discussion earlier on with False Bay being officially declared as a hope spot. We know that marine ecosystems worldwide are under threat, but the difference of buying into a hope spot, Helen, what can that mean for that potential hope spot? We need people to get involved and really look at it from a different angle.
Well, I think just the name Hope Spot says a lot, because there's so much doom and gloom. I mean, we were talking a little bit about the threats facing the ocean and facing False Bay earlier, and Hope Spots are about hope. They're about celebrating. They're about people actively working together on behalf of the ocean. And I think that's what's really, really exciting for me, is that it's not just something that, you know, something is declared a marine protected area.
And then, woohoo, we got the certificate.
Yeah, it's get the certificate and you walk away. This is actually about communities coming together, organizations coming together and really working for the good of the ocean. And I think that's so motivating. And the fact that Hope Spots are a global network, I mean, this is the plan that basically the entire ocean will be covered by these Hope Spots, by this protection. So I love that idea of, you know, protecting our blue planet and protecting the blue heart of the planet. Sylvia Earle, her deepness, has this great saying, no blue, no green. And I think that's what's really, really important about Hope Spot. So it's about hope, it's about celebration, and it's also about caring for that which we love.
And it's about looking at these areas differently, because we were just saying False Bay, we didn't know that it was declared a Hope Spot a couple of years ago already, you know, but it's really coming into focus right now. And we all know False Bay is False Bay, but there's so much more to it. But Mark, for a man like yourself that spends a lot of time at the ocean, why is now a critical time to really focus on these things like Hope Spots, especially in the False Bay area as well?
Yes, so there are a lot of problems that are facing our oceans currently, and we are reaching what they are calling like a tipping point, where there will come a moment where it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late for certain species. It's going to be too late for us to do any tangible change in our oceans. So this is a very critical time for ocean protection, where we need to get some new laws put in place to help secure our beautiful environments, so that the future generations can also enjoy False Bay and all the other unique places in the world, just like we are doing.
Because we have the most beautiful oceans worldwide, not only here in Cape Town, and we need to look after it. It's something that we can't stress enough. And there's a big responsibility, Helen, I think, on the shoulders of Two Oceans being the proud champions of the False Bay hotspot. What does this responsibility mean for you at the Two Oceans Aquarium? Because it is a big one.
It is a big one. Luckily, we share it with Cape Rad, and we're super excited about working more closely with them, and then also with all the other organizations along the False Bay coastline, because there are many organizations doing incredible work. So I'd say that, you know, the aquarium has been nominated a co-champion alongside Cape Rad, but actually all these organizations are champions. And I think our responsibility and our partnership with Cape Rad is about bringing these organizations together, uniting us all, so that we can work as one, basically, and pool our resources. So where one organization's working on a particular thing, another organization can focus its efforts on something else, so that we get all our bases covered. So that is the one kind of responsibility. And then the other thing is to just build this ocean mindful community. As you're saying, you know, people love False Bay, they love obviously the Atlantic seaboard, but now it's really about bringing the people of Cape Town together in this incredible ocean-loving, mindful community that actually take action. So
I love that, a mindful community.
Yeah, so whenever somebody's walking on the beach, what are they doing? They're picking up litter, they're looking out for things, so it's really...
If all of us can just do that,
action.
just walk on the beach and just pick up where we go, you know, not think like, oh, the bin is too far away. You know, I think it'll bring about a massive change immediately as well. Just quickly before we wrap, there was a one-day workshop at the Two Oceans Aquarium 2 weeks ago, coordinated by Mission Blue's Dr. Earl. Some of the key takeaway points that you can share with us, maybe just to enlighten our viewers as well with regards to ocean health.
Well, again, very exciting workshop. There was something like 87 people in the room from 37 different organizations, all working around False Bay and in the ocean space. And I think for me, I mean, Mark can also comment, but I think for me what was exciting was just to see the passion. You know, so many people just passionate about False Bay, passionate about the life that it supports, passionate about getting people into the ocean, from little kids all the way through to adults. And I think that was just amazing, and basically committing now to work to look after the ocean.
Fantastic.
And at the workshop, we kind of workshopped what the problems are and what we could do to solve these problems. And it was amazing to see that we are all kind of thinking the same thing. We all have this one goal, which is to safeguard our oceans and to bring in future generations, and all of the challenges. It's kind of, we share all of the challenges, you know, it never just rains on one house, it rains on all of our roofs. So it's lovely to see that we're all kind of going in the same direction.
Yeah, it's a communal effort, and there's organizations like yourself, you know, that I can really steer, I think, that community in terms of what is important. Helen, thank you very much. Always lovely having someone from the Two Oceans Aquarium with us. And Mark, you're rad. You're rad. That's cool, man.
Thank you.
What a personality he is. Listen, it is in all our own best interest to look after our oceans, because it really does fall that responsibility on each and every one of us.
Absolute rock stars on the couch. We love it. Thank you so much for bringing us that vital information. And of course, we needed you to play a vital role on the show. A little bit earlier, we asked you to help Ryle choose between his two ultimate denim looks for today's show. So option one was a beautiful crisp cotton tee, pair of straight leg denims, and some navy lace-up sneakers. Pretty much his stock standard trade. He looks beautiful. Then we've got a black tee accompanied by black denim jeans and white sneakers. Both awesome. We know our supermodel Ryle could pretty much look amazing in either. I have a feeling, I know know which way you're going to go, but let's take a look at what you had to say on our platforms. Teresa saying, good morning, Ryle. What about the rest of us, hun? Come on. Option 1 will look great. Leanne Lee van Reineveld saying option 1, styled by Woolies. Then Alvon saying, I'd go for option 1. You can never go wrong with the white tee and blue jeans. 100%. I agree with you, man. Let's see if there are any more there. A cat saying option 1 will look great. Jackie Verveer saying, good morning. Option 1 is what I choose. I love that. Emphatically so. Well, if you choose it, yo, we got to give it to you. Let's see which option has won. Well, I think we know it was an absolute dominance this morning. Hey, you look ready for action, my friend.
Bow, I love it. The feel is so good, G, especially the pants that make me just want to like dance or something. I don't know what it is.
I
It's the
like
feels.
the casual loose fit there. Absolutely amazing. You know what I like
I
the
love
most
it.
is the fit on the tee, dude.
It is. I think it's
Absolutely awesome.
It's serving. It's been a long, hard year of working out, so I get to show
Yeah,
that
dude.
off. But like I said, at the same time, I still feel free. I don't feel constricted. I feel like I can go anywhere with this, and feel like I'm gonna fit in.
Yeah, and you got denim on denim. We explored some wonderful denim options yesterday. Put a denim jacket on that, and it's a whole different vibe, man. You are stepping out. Absolutely beautiful, man. What a schmodel. Thank you for dressing our Ken doll today. He really does appreciate your input. And what a better way to finish off the look than with a beautiful fragrance. How does that sound?
yeah.
Maybe the Icon by Antonio Banderas is a fresh, woody, oriental fragrance that signifies the masculinity of a successful man. Yes, a fragrance can do all that, believe it or not. And we are giving 4 lucky viewers the chance to each win an Antonio Banderas
nice.
the Icon perfume valued at 1,000 Rand. How can they do it?
Now, if you want to get involved and stand a chance to win, you can head over to the Woolies competition post on the Expresso Facebook, X, or Instagram pages and tell us the following. Which fragrance would you wear with your everyday denim look? And don't forget to include the hashtag WooliesBeauty. And of course, the competition closes on Thursday, the 22nd of Feb at midnight. So what are you waiting for? Your T's and C's can be found at Expresso.
Show them how beautiful that bottle is.
Look
at
at
that.
this.
And
Elegance.
it's got to look gorgeous. Hey, it's got to make you feel special when you use it.
Let's see if that's the case. Let's find out. Oh yeah,
Nice. Okay.
I feel incredible.
I was told this is how you put a fragrance on. You're going to spray it into the air, and I'm going to waft through
All right,
it
let
as
me
we
get
go
you, bro.
through
Let me get you,
into
bro.
our break, and we return with more feel good after this.
waft through
Thank
all the
you,
way.
husband.
And I'll see you after. Okay, anyway, again, thank you so much for making me look this good. And I'm officially ready to serve you for the next few hours. So let's get it. We'll see you after this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This next segment is in honor of Uppington, really. 42 degrees. Well, basically anywhere in the country is going to be hot today, so please be careful. And it does beg the question, are you hydrated? Because did you know that dehydration can lead to tiredness, dizziness, and even worse? And we've got to stay sharp and stay hydrated because it's time to boost our hydration IQ. Yes, it's a thing in this morning's Hydrate or Hesitate Dehydration IQ Challenge.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Repeat what I've just said. That's the first challenge. No. Okay, so this is how it's going to work. It's pretty simple. Knowing the kind of average here, we've kept it to multiple choice. And the first person to shout out their name gets to answer. Okay, and they hopefully remember their names, and obviously the most correct answers wins.
Okay.
This is one of those, this is like your learners, where you think you know, you think logic is just going to give you the edge. Maybe not. There are a couple of answers here that were quite tricky. Okay, so we're going to put it to you in a multiple choice, and you just shout out your name first. Gents, are you ready?
So it's a competition.
It is a competition. So I'm not trying to drive a wedge between my two work husbands, but sometimes. Okay, what are some common signs and symptoms of dehydration that individuals should be vigilant about? A, feeling energized. B, very thirsty, dry, sticky mouth, headache, and dark yellow urine. C, sweet taste in the mouth. D, clear urine. It's a lot of urine for this time of day, I know, but
Bang!
Bang! Okay.
Bang! You just changed your name.
That's all right. You can be whoever
I'm not
wants
going to
to
shout
be.
my name. It sounds weird. You emphasize a lot reading out B.
Okay,
one with the-
you're going with B. Okay, very thirsty, dry, sticky mouth, headache, and dark yellow urine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there.
The correct answer is
Figured.
it is B.
Nice.
It's the dark yellow urine that
Because we've seen it all, and it is pause for consider. Like, wow.
It's true.
Is that not supposed to be that?
No, buddy.
Can somebody get a glass of water for Ryle, please?
Can we have someone to stand here and shout out Ewan's name? And can someone bring Ryle a glass of water, please? All right, get in the game, man.
Okay.
Get in the game, dude.
I'm listening.
This is not Zoe, this is Ewan. You can play. You're allowed to play and win. Okay,
Can win
question
this
2. Who is more at risk of dehydration? This is an interesting one. Are we saying A, young adults, B, the elderly, C, toddlers and young children, or D, B and C?
Bang.
Answer D is B and C.
Bang.
Bang.
Bang. That's answer the last one, D.
D,
D.
which is B and C.
Which is B and C. No, B and C.
Oh, you got B and C.
B and C.
Which was option B.
I was just the toddlers.
Okay, so
Just
ready?
the toddlers and elderly, or toddlers and young children?
Toddlers and young children.
Only. Okay, so what about the elderly? They're fine. eh?
Good.
They're
They've been
strong.
drinking for years.
Let's take a look.
Should have
It
known
is
by now.
B,
Come on,
which is B and C.
Really?
I'm disappointed in the elderly man. Come on.
Really?
Come on.
That's the bottom line, but you'll start to feel it come on. You'll notice yourself having a glass or two extra a day
Suddenly
when
so
you
much
need
more
to.
parched.
But it does, and I can remember during the massive heat waves, how these groups became so at risk, so it's worth really taking that on board. Question 3, what is the benefit of an oral electrolyte mixture during episodes of diarrhea and gastroenteritis?
Right, okay. Give us
Can
the
I get an
options.
extra point for saying gastroenteritis?
Gastroenteritis.
So what are our
What do you
options?
think? Okay, these are our options. They prevent sunburn, helps with digestion is B. C, helps and accelerates the absorption of water.
Accelerates?
Accelerates. Like when you're accelerating, you celebrate.
Oh, okay.
And then reduces the risk of allergies.
Ral, boom.
Ral, go.
But what?
We're allowed to say our names now.
Baral.
B.A. Baral. I'm going to go with, what was that last option?
So there was
absorb
reduce-
and replenish.
Yes, the
I'm
absorption
thinking
of
it's
water.
like a carrier
That's C.
system. So I'm going with C. I'm going with C. Come on, what is it?
I have a feeling you're on the money there. See, it
Yes,
helps
I'm
and
on the board.
accelerates the absorption
Well done.
of water, because we forget our body is not a vessel for carrying water, albeit we are 70% water, but we need the salts and all the things like that to draw that moisture in. So you've got to have the right kind of carrier. Brilliant. You guys are doing well. Question 4. What does rehydrate contain to help replenish lost electrolytes? A, only water. B, glucose, sodium and potassium chloride. C, artificial sweeteners. D, caffeine.
Bang.
Whoa, that was close. You're going to have to say the answer together.
Let's say it together.
3, 2, 1,
B.
Nice. I have a feeling you're absolutely on the money. It's packed with all the right things that you need. Let's squeeze in one more as the decider. And there you can see the glucose, sodium, and potassium chloride. That's what allows the body to draw that moisture back in. All right, the final one. This one is going to decide our winner. From what age can you use Rehydrate?
Ooh.
A, children from 1 year of age. B, adults only. C, children over the age of 10 years. D, from infants less than 1 year of age and
That's
up.
a tough one.
You see, it's tricky. It's
Look, I
tricky.
think we need to give our own answer. I'm going to go with, I don't know, A.
A.
I'm going to go like infants older than a year, possibly.
Okay,
So
for
D, I think.
you're going for D,
Yeah.
A and D. Let's take
Tricky
a look.
one, actually. Oh,
D, from
really?
infants less than 1 year of age
Okay.
and up.
Okay.
It's all pretty safe
I
stuff
was
that
gonna
we
say, there's nothing
need.
crazy in there.
And especially if your little one has diarrhea and those sorts of things, they get dehydrated so quickly. You think the vessel is so small. So you've got to help them, and just a little bit goes a long way at those critical moments. You guys did brilliantly, but I think it was...
It's an even tie.
It's an even tie, we're going to call it. We don't want to destroy this
didn't
work
lose.
marriage
Don't
that
do
is
it.
flourishing. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, boys. You're both safe out there, and you can parent. You can both
Thanks.
safely parent. Well done. You can tick that box. The bottom line here is an expert for over 30 years. Rehydrate has been our go-to, and it really should be yours. It contains the optimal balance of sugar and electrolytes to replace lost fluids and minerals, and helps bring back hydration faster than water alone. As we've highlighted, you need that carrier system to get the water into your system, and Rehydrate have been doing it for years, and you've got all the options there. So well done to our gentlemen. Can we get a round of applause for our two dehydration high IQ champions? Well done, boys.
Drained? Dehydrated? You have lost more than just fluid. Recover faster. Add Rehydrate, SA's #1 oral electrolyte mixture.
So our dedicated pharmacists' unwavering commitment and care play a crucial role in our well-being. I mean, we've seen this over the last few years especially. So we've got to heap some praise where it's deserved. And today we extend our gratitude. I'm not getting emotional, promise you. Our gratitude to these incredible healthcare champions, proudly sponsored by Adcock Ingram OTC, officially the sponsors of Brave. So let's meet this week's Pharmacy of the Week, the incredible, the local choice pharmacy in Denui.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
Ek is verskriklik lief vir mense en ek het nog altyd 'n baie groot passie gehad vir mense. Ek het groot geword in 'n apteek. My ma self ook 'n apteker en daar waar ek my liefde vir die beroep vandaan kry. It's definitely about more than just helping them with medication, doing prescriptions. We want to send everybody off here better than they came in, not just physically but emotionally as well. So when they have heartache or when they want to share something happy, something good that happened to them, we would like to share in that with our clients. We won't be able to be here if it weren't for our community and for their support and trusting us with their health. So we would just like to thank our community for that. Ons is hierso meer as net 'n gemeenskapsapteek, ons is 'n familie.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave. Inspiring communities, one pharmacy at a time.
We've been long in the game, healing South Africa one allergy at a time. All the sneezing, runny nose, itching of nose and throat, we've left no stone unturned until finally South Africa recognized us. You've given us the courage to continue to do what we do best. Live, work, play, sleep allergy-free with Allergex Non-Drowsy. Ask your pharmacist for the full allergy range. Brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to your community and backing up your tireless efforts to keep our communities healthy and thriving. We love you guys. We absolutely love you. They can come into the work marriage.
Yeah,
In fact,
absolutely can indeed. Now, of course, we're getting you ready for the rest of the next few hours coming up at your Feel the Breakfast show. And that means we're going to move into something involving movement. We're talking about all the Varsity Cup rugby action.
You got so serious there, dude. I was like, what are we going to do?
That was serious, bro. That's a serious thing. And then also, The excitement has been real around who will host Tropic Island of Treasure. Well, it's all going to be revealed in a couple of moments. Really? Stick around. We'll be back. Really?
We can find out what's going down.
You can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're tuned into Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3. It is your Tuesday morning, 1 minute ahead of 7 o'clock. Let's quickly take another look at your news headlines for your Tuesday morning. Starting off with your national news this morning, a ship, the Al Kuwait, carrying some 19,000 cattle, made a stop at the port of Cape Town on Sunday evening, resulting in a stench that polluted the CBD and areas including Greenpoint, Waterfront, Woodstock, and even further down to Observatory. Now, the ship was loading feed bound for Iraq. The National Council of SPCAs has since reiterated its firm stance against the live export of animals by sea, saying the smell was indicative of awful conditions the animals endure, having already spent 2.5 weeks on board with a buildup of feces and ammonia. And Anglo American Platinum, the world's largest producer of the precious metal, plans to cut thousands of jobs at its mines in South Africa. Now, the cuts come after the company's profits slumped by 71%. Yesterday, Anglo American said it was embarking on a restructuring that could affect some 3,700 South African jobs. Anglo American CEO Craig Miller said the decision was very much last resort and added, and I quote, "not least as we recognize the unemployment challenges in South Africa and the socio-economic impact that the proposed restructuring may have." Over to international news headlines this morning. 26 of the 27 member states of the European Union have called for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. The head of foreign policy at the EU, Josep Borrell, says the 26 member states further demand that the temporary ceasefire should be extended to a sustainable ceasefire, that all hostages held by Hamas be released, and that urgent humanitarian assistance to residents in Gaza be provided. Borrell did not disclose which member country is not part of the group. Meanwhile, the Israeli army is reported to have attacked Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. And animal welfare charities have welcomed an Africa-wide ban on the controversial donkey skin trade. It will make it illegal to slaughter donkeys for their skin across the continent. Demand for the animal skins is fueled by the popularity of an ancient Chinese medicine called ejiao, made from donkey hides. African state leaders approved the ban at the conclusion of the African Union Summit in Ethiopia on Sunday. The charity, the Donkey Sanctuary, called the trade brutal and unsustainable and said it had decimated donkey populations around the world. And we'll end up with this story. The French Riviera town of Menton, nestled between the azure waters of the Mediterranean and the lush hills of the Riviera, is no stranger to the limelight thanks to its annual Lemon Festival. Now, this year, however, the event has taken on an even more spectacular dimension, celebrating the theme from Olympia to Menton. Now, towering sculptures of athletes, floats and historical scenes are meticulously crafted from 140 tons of lemons and oranges. That's more than 500,000 fruits. Now, the French Riviera Canberra carnivals, which with a rather rich tapestry of history, culture and art, have always been more than just local festivities. Now this year organisers expect some 200,000 people to visit the fortnight event. And that's your news headlines for the 7 o'clock bulletin. We'll have one more update for you at 8. Right now, here's another look at your sports.
Thank you so much, Ewan. And let's dive into all the sporting action once again, and starting with rugby news. The Crusaders announced yesterday that New Zealand All Blacks standout Will Jordan faces a 6-month absence due to a shoulder injury, sidelining him for the Super Rugby Pacific season. Now, the 25-year-old requires surgery for a pre-existing injury, dealing a blow to the defending champions as they commence their 2024 campaign under new head coach Rob Penny against the Chiefs in Hamilton on Friday. Well, carrying on with all the rugby news, and the Bulls have secured utility back Devin Williams on a 3-year permanent deal, extending his stay at Loftus Versfeld until 2027. Now, initially on loan from the Pumas, the 31-year-old impressed in both the United Rugby Championship and Champions Cup. Now, his versatility adds depth to the Bulls' backline, showcasing prowess at fullback and on the wings. Now, from our rugby news, we dive into footballing action, and in a crucial clash between relegation-threatened sides, Everton midfielder Amadou Onana salvaged a 1-1 draw against Crystal Palace with a late equaliser. Now, the Eagles, under new manager Oliver Glasner, took the lead through Jordan Ayew, putting pressure on Everton. However, Onana's goal lifted Everton out of the relegation zone, edging them above Luton on goal difference. While carrying on with footballing action, and Newcastle sporting director Dan Ashworth has been placed on gardening leave amid reports of his desire to join Manchester United. Now, Ashworth's departure comes as Ineos chairman Jim Ratcliffe seeks to bolster United's football leadership, with recruitment a key focus. Now, Ashworth, who previously held roles at the Football Association and Brighton, has been at Newcastle for 20 months, appointed by the club's Saudi-backed owner after their takeover in 2021. Well, we'll dive again into all the sporting action in the next hour, but for now, though, G-Man has the latest when it comes to all things traffic, and I'm sure you could do with this help on the roads right now.
Thank you so much, Raul. Let's get you to work safely, or get you to school safely. And we start up in Germiston in Johannesburg. There is a stationary vehicle on the N12 eastbound at the infamous Goluli's interchange with the back of the queue at Earland's interchange. That shows you the level of the backup. If you can use another route, please do, and be careful out there. That's your traffic for now. Let's get into the weather. Some weather news to take in first, and the ongoing water crisis in Verulam in the northern KZN area has now taken on an international colour. So a community organisation, the Verulam Water Crisis Committee, has asked the United Nations to investigate whether water supply interruptions in this area, that's north of Durban, are a human rights violation. So residents of Phoenix, of Verulam and Tongaat have been without water supply for some time now, and claim that taps in certain areas have been dry for 4 months. And the eThekwini municipality has distributed water tankers in the areas, but the crisis committee says these are not sufficient by some margin. And a spokesperson, Roshan Leruthan, says they reported the issue to the UN Inspector General on Friday. And Leruthan says the South African Human Rights Commission has since issued a notice for a community meeting in the Verulam Town Hall, and that's on March the 6th. If you're an interested community member, please go and have your voice heard. And that's where we leave our news. Let's get into some sunrise views. And of course, this absolute perler was sent in. Look at that. The timing of the shot was sent in by Amanda Holman, and that's from St. James. I hope she was about to take a nice icy dip. That is how you should start your day every day, if you can. What a blessing. Thank you so much. You can share your morning views with us, 063-408-8863. And we'd love to see how you start your day. Now, what you can expect from the day ahead, hot temperatures across the country. Let's get a bit more granular.
And there we have it. Now you are prepped for your day ahead in terms of what you need to pack into your boot.
A hat.
Or the lack of any clothing altogether.
Just
with
an
the heat
umbrella,
waves.
possibly, yeah.
For sure. But listen, here's the exciting part. We've been making mention of it for the course of this morning. Tropical Island of Treasure. We know it. It's a SAFTA award-winning competition reality show, and it will be heading to the beautiful Zanzibar for the new season. You got to say it like that.
Zanzibar. There's a song. I left my heart in Zanzibar or something like that, but
for
I
sure.
did.
It's
I've been to
beautiful.
Zanzibar, and it is amazing. So the guesses have been flooding in for the past 24 hours. We had our guesses. Of course, we didn't know. So today we get to share with you who that brilliant new host is, and I'm getting goosebumps already. But we thought, let's go through some of your guesses because they were really interesting and quite on the money, actually. And I think let's start with one. Actress and former Tropical Island of Treasure star, Kanya Mkangisa. And that
She
was
would have been a
Foto,
popular
but she would have been
choice, of course.
amazing, man.
I'm
And
not surprised.
Yeah, she's got the chutzpah, the attitude to be able to own that space because there's a lot of celebrities all in one little group, you know?
Absolutely. Then another guest was sports presenter Kobile Kwezi, who also came through. So, yeah.
It looks like her. So you just went on profile there, but I think she's
you
got
could
the
see
chops
the outline and everything.
because it's very athletic. The challenges are very physical. There's a lot. I know there's a lot of mental as well, but she would have been a good choice. I love this one. Our own Zoe Brown. She would have had a lot of fun on that island.
She would have had a lot of fun.
Is it too late to throw her name in the hat?
Maybe. Look, but it's a lot. It's anyone's guess at this stage. And then another guest came through that, and also our very own Zanele Potelwa, who could also be the possible host.
I kind of threw that out there yesterday because I don't want to lose her for a few weeks while they go and do battle out in the islands, but she's so good.
Yeah.
She's got that, like, the understanding of the competitive sporting side of things, and then she's got that beautiful, bubbly personality that, I don't know, I would love to see her.
Again, it's anyone's guess at this stage because those were some really good guesses. I mean, if you told me any one of those, I would probably believe you.
Yeah, because they could all do it.
But there can be only one. There can be only one. So, on that note, let's see who will be hosting Tropica Island of Treasure 2024.
Lay it on me. Come on.
And there we have it. Did you know? Did you know? Huh?
Now it's going to look like I've got some influence here, and I don't, eh? Oh, that is awesome. That is so cool. Let's give you a bit of background before we connect with this gorgeous human being again. She's obviously one of the youngest award-winning radio presenters out there. She is brilliant in that mode, being on 5FM and then a rising television personality. What she did during the Netball World Cup was where I first really took notice. She was just phenomenal. She is an optimistic ball of energy that is passionate about people. And that's probably why she had to come into our family to be on this show. But
it requires somebody like that, that is for sure. So I think on that note, we got to hear from herself. Let's cross over to Zanele at the Samsung showroom at the Design Court in Johannesburg. Zanele, how are you feeling?
Yay!
Oh my goodness! Family, are you sure it's me?
Yes, girl.
I'm the new host of Tropical Island of Treasure Season 11. Me? Oh, my word. Guys, I am ecstatic. I am beside myself. I can't believe it because I grew up watching Tropical Island of Treasure. I've been a fan for the longest time. And now being able to be part of it in this way, I think it means the world to me. And I'm genuinely so excited for what is going to be an incredible season, honestly and truly.
Listen, Zanele, have you been to Zanzibar yet?
No, I have not. So I've traveled outside of the African continent, but I've never actually traveled to a place here on this beautiful continent that we call home. So I cannot wait. I think that I've only ever seen, videos and all the things that we see on social media that have made me want to go there. However, I now get to actually tick off another thing on my bucket list to be like, I did it, Zanzibar, and then I get to be part of Tropical Island of Treasure. So it means everything.
Oh, man.
Oh, it is absolutely incredible. We got to ask, though, because you're going to have a whole lot of big-name celebrities in the mix. Are you up for that? There's a lot of spice. There's a lot of big personalities, a few egos thrown in the mix. And we know you are definitely the girl to do it. But how are you feeling about that challenge?
Listen, I definitely think that when it comes to our celebrities in South Africa, we can always already trust them to put on a show, because one thing we know about them is that they are competitive, okay? But on top of that, it is the fact that they know what it means when we are talking about being able to win such a huge prize, as well as having someone else who is there coming from the smooth fans and being there wanting to win as well. So I definitely think we're about to see a huge show. And like you said, Graham, that's spice, honey. Listen, I don't think any of us are ready for what is going to taste like Mam Ruby's Chagalaga. It's going to be incredible, but I know that these guys will be able to trust them to really put on a show.
Oh, we are so proud of you. It is the Spice Island after all. So we want that, my sister. Oh, we are so proud of you, girl.
Congratulations.
So proud. Give yourself a pat on the back. You amazingly talented, wonderful human being. Congratulations. Zanele Potelwa is the host of Tropica Island of Treasure, Zanzibar. It's going to be amazing.
She's going to have the time of her life, man. Both myself and Graham, we were lucky enough to have been there a couple of times already.
Oh, it's magical.
Unbelievable island. Unbelievable. All right, Raul, what do you say, my friend?
What? I'm absolutely here for it. Celebrating all our wins from our family. And speaking of winning, let's keep the winning conversation going, because we had an incredible round of ruggers that we're also going to talk about right now. But again, Zanele, yes! For now, the Varsity Cup is obviously back, and if round one is anything to go by, we are looking at having a highly contested season. Now, the defending champions, the NWU Eagles, secured a hard-fought victory against Mighties, while the UCT Ikeys and CUT and Wits also claimed wins in the opening round. Now, here to chat to us is sports journalist and former Varsity Cup player Nathan Gogela. Yes, bro, how are you doing, man?
How's the nature? What are you doing?
I'm so good, bro. A lot of hype already coming through from this week, and what's crazy for me to see is that from these results, already Mighty is taking a L at the start. This is a huge game, already setting a tone here with the Eagles claiming that win. You reckon it's going to be another season of victory?
Yeah, so Marty's losing at home, it's quite big.
That's huge, right?
So, but the Eagles won last season, so they had a lot to live through. So yeah, it's just unfortunate with the sold-out crowd at Stellenbosch, and the crowd singing out at Lente does get a bit intimidating.
And imagine again, like that's something we need to talk about. Yes, you got this momentum of winning the cup from the year before, but going up at that stadium, home ground advantage to Stellies, obviously, and the Mighties, that's a lot to go up against. You're playing more than 15 men on the field right there, right? I got to say, with that being said, the Eagles also managed to maintain their defensive prowess through this, and I don't know, do you think that this is going to be their season again? Do you think anyone's going to actually be able to pose a challenge for them?
I think if you win at least 1 or 2 away games, it does put you in a position to host a semi-final. So, yeah, congrats to Eagles. The fly-off, the Robinson did fairly well as well, kicking points to points to the scoreboard. So yeah, he did fairly well for the Eagles. But yeah, unfortunately, Marty's obviously onto a transitional phase at the moment with both the coaches and the players as well.
So a little bit of rebuilding happening, and hopefully they can find their momentum for this year. Another standout performance by Wits, I believe, actually dominating last year's Shield, right? And that was against UWC. 65-10 was the final result there. So a big welcome for them. This is going to be a big challenge for them this year. Kind of new territory in a sense, but looks like they're stepping up to the plate, right?
Yeah, Varsity Cup is different to Shield, eh? Just at a completely different level. Wits, 10 tries on the day. Unfortunately, the captain, Selengbe, is suffering that ankle injury. He scored on the day. So, but unfortunate for him, but it's a good result. Another away win for Wits.
And like you said, I mean, as someone that's been playing in this league, you know the intensities and the shift in change coming from the Shield all the way up to this Varsity Cup. So a lot more required, a lot more player management, I'd imagine, as well. And then also the physicality increases too.
That's correct. Physicality and just the everything changes in terms of the player personnel, the different players, coaches coming into the systems. You know that after 25 you can't play anymore. You need a certain amount of credits to play Varsity Cup or Varsity Shield. So yeah, there's a new crop of players coming for Varsity Cup and Varsity Shield. We see now Varsity College coming into the Varsity Shield. So it's good to see all these teams bringing their different dimension to Varsity Cup and Varsity Shield.
Yeah, that's what I love. It's like this tournament is just getting bigger and better. The diversity is increasing, and that means rugby's winning at the end of the day, because with all this talent merged into this pool, it's such an exceptional opportunity to see and and showcase some of South Africa's future talent, right? Let's talk about some of the other stalwarts with CUT and Ike's also claiming some wins. I think that was against Shimlers and UJ respectively. What's your take on their chances for the season? How are things looking? What do you think it's going to look like? Let's start with the Ike's, obviously. A lot of pedigree in this team. How do you think their chances are for the season?
Yeah, UCT last season were the finalists. They will be looking to go one better this season. Again, another away win for them in a title contested game in Bloemfontein. But just unfortunate for Shimlers, just put on discipline, and UCT just very balanced in the backs and the forwards as well. So, and then onto the CUT. If defending on a day was a person, it would be CUT. I mean, 13 points up for 13-0 to CUT up front, and they managed to seal a 4-point narrow win for CUT.
Coming back and claiming the goods. And Nathan, I can't thank you enough for sharing your insights with us. I got to ask you, with it's still been quite early days. It's a good opportunity to put our bets on a team. Are you going to be taking a risk on live TV and putting your money on any team this year?
It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. All these away wins in the first round already. So I think I'll be sitting on the fence this time.
Oh, sitting on the fence. Spoken like a true politician while playing, not creating enemies. So Nathan Gogela, thank you so much for coming through. We look forward to diving into more of this incredible tournament, more of this rugby action, and getting some of your insights. Obviously, a man that's done it all. You've been right there in the good stuff, so you know what we're talking about. But I can't thank you enough for coming through today, man. I hope you have an incredible one, and we look forward to the next round of games, right? That's happening next week, right?
That's correct.
Monday. Get yourself in the front seat for that, because it's going to be an absolute spectacle. And hopefully Nathan will be able to divulge all the great stuff that happened with that. For now, though, there's some more great stuff. Yeah, smells like it's in the kitchen. Let's check it out.
Well, we're hoping it's great, my friend. A little bit earlier, you and I tried our hands at these gorgeous cheesy chili flatbreads. So I'm going to just cut through.
With an emphasis on gorgeous.
Oh, gorgeous. Oh, I love that. So you've got a bit of bread underneath. You've got the filling. Absolutely exquisite. So cheers, hubby.
Cheers, bud.
Let's test to see if this is a hot mess or a success.
Oh, wow.
Holy macaroni.
That's like an explosion of flavors.
Yeah.
That is
It's
good.
like the best parts of a pizza dressed up as something else. Do we even bother? Do we even bother?
It's a massive success. That is delicious.
Absolutely amazing. And I like the fact that we went with the chili crunch here. That also adds another dynamic. I can't even taste the coriander, so maybe this is it. Maybe this is the recipe that saves me.
Did we actually do it?
Oh, we
After
did
all
do
these
it.
years?
Oh, no. Absolutely amazing. I'll even have a little bit of coriander stuck in my teeth. Absolutely gorgeous if you want to try this recipe yourself, and I suggest you do. And get creative. ExpressoShow.com is where you can find it.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take a very quick break while we finish these. They're not going to just stay here. Yeah, we are still talking Tropic Island of Treasure, and of course, now we know Zanele is going to be the host. But who are the celebs going to be taking part? So we're going to give you a clue as to the first celeb that might be joining Tropic Island of Treasure, and some delicious lactose-free hash brown waffles for breakfast. How does that sound? Or maybe for lunch, whatever your fancy.
I'll leave
show you how to make it. Leave some room. We'll see you after the break.
Oh,
Really? Are you
good.
cutting it? Like, why don't you just
I
bite
just want
into
to-
it?
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're on your Feel Good Breakfast show right here on S3, and I'm dancing, darling, because Caribou to the tropical island of treasure life. Yes, indeed, it is back, as it is every single year. And did you hear who the host is, my love? It's me. Oh, my goodness. Mom, are you watching? Oh, as I said earlier on, it is genuinely such an honor to be chosen as the host of Season 11 of Tropical Island of Treasure. And I know that it is going to be a treasure indeed, my babes, because it is bigger, it is better, because we're heading off to Zanzibar. And I am genuinely so excited because I know we've got 7 celebrities that are going to blow you away in terms of how competitive they are, rather, first and foremost, as well as what they have to bring to the competition. They know what's on the line, but this is the thing. It's also what's on the line for you, because you are able to enter, my friend, as from the 1st of March, and it is going to be coming your way in terms of the details and what you need to do and how we can find you and how you can come and join us in Zanzibar and have your chance of being a winner. However, with that being said, you can already win today because Tropica does things like that. You know what I mean? We want you to win now, namhlanje. So therefore, it is all about you guessing who our 7 celebrities are. Starting off with our very first one, who will be announced tomorrow morning. But what you need to go and do now, don't wait for later, do it now. Head over to @mytropica and you use the hashtag Tropica, and you need to try and guess who is the very first celebrity that we are going to reveal for Season 11 of Tropica Island of Treasure. It's going to be incredible, but I want you to also be a part of the winning, my friend. So head over to @mytropica, hashtag Tropica, and 1,000 Rand could be yours just like that. T's and C's do apply, but that is what I call smooth. Right about now, though, I also know that we 100% want you to be a part of this in the biggest way, so you've got to stay tuned. But this is why I say we want you to be a winner, because we're not just letting you go and guess. We're also giving you a clue right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. So, my friend, let's watch and see what the clue is so that you can be a winner of that 1,000 Rand with your favorite and one of the longest running reality TV shows, Tropica Island of Treasure, where it is always smooth.
Yeah, getting in the mood for the islands, but before we get into that mood, let's get us in the mood for some breakfast hash browns. Yes, and these crispy pockets of heaven are topped with rashers of bacon and fried eggs to your liking, making them the perfect kind of comfort food breakfast. I know you are all salivating at the thought of this, but listen to this. The best part, they are lactose-free, made with no-lax, lactose-free dairy snacks, so everybody can share and enjoy this magic. And, of course, the lads are here to show you how it's done. You've been slaying it in the kitchen of late, eh?
My friend, yes.
Very
and
impressed.
if I was on Zanzibar, then I would have a breakfast like this.
Oh, would you? Okay.
I would.
Right,
I
so
would.
give us that island breakfast. How do we put it together? Because I
Okay.
definitely think it is fitting of that.
Hash browns equals potatoes, obviously. Grated.
Nice.
Fantastic. That goes
Okay.
in a bowl. Just
Very
like this.
simple.
Oh,
And that was grated raw, or was it already cooked?
raw, my friend.
Okay.
Raw. Because we are going to cook it.
Oh, okay.
And then-
Interesting.
The lactose-free element. We have lovely clover, no lac over here.
I love this.
Quarter
man.
cup goes in
Yeah.
there.
Pop it in there.
Very simple recipe. I love it.
And again, I think there's a lot of people that have not been able to have many a meal because this wasn't in their
Exactly.
world. So welcome to the future. Welcome to the opportunity to taste some incredible meals that have never been an option. And that's thanks to Nolac right now.
There
And I'm
we go.
loving how you're putting this into this one.
Yeah, so we have some flour, some onion powder, some garlic powder, and a little bit of salt.
Okay.
And we're just going to go with an egg.
Nice, bro.
Like
so listen,
so.
yeah, this is actually a little bit of a health box being ticked because we got
Absolutely.
some good carbs and starch coming from that potato. We obviously got some good fats and protein coming through from the egg, and then some great flavor mixed up in between that. This is a macro check, if I would do say so myself, bro.
A
So well
macro
done.
check. I like
Yeah.
it. So we're just going to give this a little mix. We have a waffle maker over here that's nice and hot already. And if you don't have one of these machines, that's fine. You can literally just fry a little bit up in a pan as well.
Okay, so you can make like a big, like a flapjack kind of a thing maybe, or something similar to that, although
Exactly.
you can get creative with the shape if you do have your own pan, but I like this. We got a waffle maker, so let's do it
Okay,
right.
so let's get it going here. Where's my,
So we
my
pop
dishing
that straight
spoon?
in, it's nice and hot.
Let's see.
Oh, you can hear the sizzle, so you know it's going down.
I've never actually used one of these.
And do you have any idea, like, does this thing expand? Does it swell up?
Let's find out.
Let's find out, I guess, yeah. I'm also wondering, is it gonna like get any bigger? Maybe it gets smaller, but already it hasn't even cooked up, but I can smell some good taste coming through from this.
And now we wait. And while we wait, we are gonna just fry up an egg. Let me see which one is which here. Here we go.
Nice, bro. All right, so this is something I would definitely see myself loving on an island. Mix this up with a Speedo. I think you got perfection right there. A perfect balance. Get the sun on, sunscreen slapped on the body, get a hat on maybe as well, but just sipping on this goodness.
Absolutely.
Wow, I am here
I'm just waiting for this to heat up just a little bit. But in the meanwhile, see, we've got one prepared over there.
Okay.
So what you can do is load it. So we've got some spring onion, we've got some baked beans. Obviously, you've got that's it. Like what did our chef call it? A cowboy breakfast.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
You can start.
So is there any
that.
particular way in which we're gonna layer this? Does it matter?
There's the example.
Just grab it
right there.
Spoon, yeah. So I can get that in.
You can just pour it over, my friend.
Okay, let's just.
You can just pour it over. I mean, that's pretty much what we're going for.
Actually, we'll go with that like sort of rustic look. I
That's
like
it.
that. Pop some chives on here. Voila. A little bacon. How do you like a bacon when you pop it on a waffle?
Crispy.
You like it? Yeah, crispy as
Crispy
well. I like that
bacon,
like texture change.
Has to be
through.
crispy.
And you just get a little crunch in it. You're like, yes, please come through. Now, I'm loving
Exactly.
this. The fact that I've forgotten that this is still a dairy-free option. It's blowing my mind right now.
And there's a lot of protein in this as well.
Exactly.
And we did say, remember at the beginning of the year, we said, you know, what our goals are with regards to diet. Get more protein in your diet,
Yes,
because a
please.
lot of people are falling short on getting enough protein. You know, if you're hungry all the time, then you know why.
And it's a crazy step, because I think it's if you are someone that's training and gymming, let's say on average you weighed like 80 kgs, you need to have about 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per kg of weight. So
Absolutely.
an 80 kg individual needs to have about like 160 grams of protein or more per day. So meals like this, you need to tick the box with, and it's definitely going to help you
Absolutely.
hit that marker.
And especially if you start breakfast with a good protein-loaded meal, it is going to carry you, which is great. You'll find if you don't eat enough protein, you're going to be hungry by like 9 o'clock already.
And the muscles just don't get a chance to repair.
Nah.
Ewan, should I have a look at this?
look
Or do you
at
think
them and
it's
see. I'm just
doing quite well?
monitoring the
Because it's
egg here.
smelling incredible, but let's just check a little progress check. Ooh,
Come
it's
on.
turning perfect. We can
So you
probably
want
keep
that
it
little
just for a
golden
bit.
brown effect. I've got my egg here. This is almost done. But you can let us know. What do you think about this recipe? Is this something that you would go for? I think especially, you know, if you are a little bit of lactose intolerant,
Yeah.
this is a great option using Clover's Nolac.
I'd like to know if anybody has actually been in the world of not being able to experience these and is dying to now try this, knowing that their world is now changed and there's an opportunity to incorporate so many incredible lactose-free meals with that sort of dairy feel. Let's just say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, how do you like your egg?
I actually like it a little bit runny, sunny side up for me, man.
Sunny side up. Well, if I can get out of here.
Get out of here, absolute perfection. Let me just do a little check up on our creation. I think I could go in for just a little bit longer, but just show the camera right now.
Yeah.
Ewan coming through with his kitchen skills today, really showing off. I can't fault you on anything you've done so far.
Well, let's get the
this
egg out first, my
Okay,
bro.
let me. Hopefully we didn't speak too soon. I back him.
You back me.
I back you, especially when there's
Okay.
pressure. Yes, please, bring it on. Bum, bum, bum.
Ta-da!
And absolutely exquisite. Ewan coming through with the goods. As you can see, a lactose-free meal, and you didn't even know about it. So what you can do right now, ditch the boring breakfast and give these lactose-free hash brown waffles a go. And you can get the full recipe and ingredients list at expressoshow.com. But what are you waiting for other than find a knife and a fork and tuck into this?
I'm just looking for the salt and pepper. Has anyone
Oh,
seen
no,
the
that's
salt
true.
and pepper?
Look, there's enough flavor in here. You don't need to worry about that, man.
There's so many cupboards in this kitchen. I have no idea where the salt and pepper
It's
is.
James Hansen. You definitely want to try this one at home.
Yes.
Goodbye to nausea and cramps and say hello to delicious freedom with Nolac's range of lactose-free milk and yogurt. Be free with lactose-free.
All right, we need a little music injected into this beautiful energy this morning. And of course, we're going to do it with the Journey of Jazz Festival. We'll bring you all of those details and then give you just a little taste. And it is going to be magical. Darren English has been giving us the most exquisite sound checks all morning. I cannot wait for you to hear him live right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show after this.
It's the little things that make big things happen. If you're a baking legend, then rise to the occasion and enter to be a contestant on the Taste Master SA Season 5. Visit thetastemaster.co.za. Share a video introducing yourself and your baking skills, and show us some pics of your incredible creations. Entries close on the 25th of February. T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, where we are feeling oh so good, honey. And it's especially because we're together, you know what I mean? As a family, coming and just celebrating, having fun, but then also being informed. And this is why this morning we are joined by someone who is here to tell you that, listen, if your year as an academic student or even prospective academic student hasn't started off the way you wanted it to, in terms of where you want to go and study and what you want to do, then, my friend, you are in luck, because Richfield, they are still open for business. They have got late registrations going on at the moment for 2024, and this is where you want to be, because it is one of the places that honestly and truly has some of the best qualifications in South Africa, and I am so excited for you to hear about them, which is why we have got in the building the Group Chief Commercial Officer. It is none other than Adam Kelly. Let's welcome him to our big family. Adam, how are you?
Very well, thanks, and you, Sanele.
Amazing, thank you. Adam, thank you for being the savior, because there are a lot of people who need exactly what you guys are doing right now, yeah?
Absolutely.
Yes, so you guys started and opened your doors in 1990. Speak to us about 2024. How are things different from then, and what can prospective students expect?
So I think what we look for is just innovation in education.
Yep.
So looking at that student experience, constantly innovating and investing in that, and the product of that, and that is ultimately culminated in where we are today with premium campuses all over the country. In the classroom, you can expect just world-class faculty that bring that blend of industry practitioner experience as well as academia into the learning experience, and ultimately a curriculum that is built around career readiness, a curriculum that incorporates job-ready skills, so that when students from Richfield graduate, they are easily integrated into the working environment and have the skills that are in demand by industry and ultimately in need.
100%. And I think that that's always such a huge thing that people struggle with is the integration into that workspace. So the fact that that's something that you guys focus on, you're winning even more. You are rich in what you're doing. But this is the thing, Adam, that I also know when you talk about your campuses, they are in different parts of South Africa. Speak to us about that. What cities are they in exactly?
So we're all over South Africa, and I'll give you context as to why. So in Gauteng, we're in Bryanston, Centurion. We're in Newtown Junction in the Johannesburg CBD. We're in the Pretoria CBD, right opposite Sammy Marks. We're in Limpopo, in Polokwane. We're in KZN, obviously, as well, with the Mhlanga and Musgrave campuses, as well as in the Western Cape in Long Street, in the Cape Town CBD. However, we've got a unique blend of also distance learning qualifications. So you can study online with Richfield from anywhere in the world. In fact, we've got a student on our MBA program that's living and residing in the United States. So really, the distance learning and online learning is something that makes Richfield accessible to anyone in South Africa and all across the world for that matter.
I love that. I love that for us because there's some of us, we can only distance learn. We're very, very busy. So a shout out to you guys for having that for the people who necessarily need it. But Adam, also speak to me about this because, of course, you know your classes, they're different to what other people offer. Speak to us about that and what is it that makes your guys' qualifications so incredible?
As I mentioned earlier, Zanele, it's really about the curriculum. It's understanding industry needs. As much as we all want to go to, to higher education and start our tertiary education journey and have fun, and the student experience is important. But ultimately, what we're going to do is to get a degree, to get the job. We're also looking to potentially change our careers, and that's why we see a lot of distance learning students, around 30, 35 years old, saying, hang on a minute, IT really interests me, or the marketing really interests me, and I want to change my career path, and ultimately, what are the skills that I require to do so? So, what we look for is invest in the curriculum to ensure that people can segue into different careers, segue into the career path that they want to, but have the skills that they require. So we've partnered with the likes of AWS, IBM, Oracle, Cisco, amongst others, big names in industry, and incorporated their certification badges into our curriculum.
Come on.
So when you graduate, graduate with your Richfield qualification, which is fantastic in its own right, as well as the skills badges with these awesome partners. And we know that big companies are out there and they're looking at these skills. And as I mentioned earlier, students and graduates of Richfield can easily integrate into that. Or we've incorporated entrepreneurship programs into our qualification, so you can start your own business. You're not just narrowed into a specific career path.
Come on.
Richfield's for everyone. It really is.
You guys are not just building employees, you're building bosses as well.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
And now speak to me about this because I know that there's a lot of young people out there who are like, okay, I'm a prospective student rather. Where can I get the information?
So, a lot of them, as you mentioned, sitting there saying, well, we've missed the chance. Our registrations are still open. Late registrations at Richfield are still open. Next week classes start, so you've got time. Go to richfield.ac.za. Click on the Apply Now button, start that journey. A friendly student advisor will be in touch with you to assist you on that journey. And this can be the start of not only a journey with Richfield, but a journey to changing your life.
And a journey to success.
And success.
Exactly.
And success.
And Adam, before I let you go, where can we register? How can we register?
So, as I mentioned, richfield.ac.za.
Everything's just there.
Everything's there.
Amazing.
Follow our socials. This is Richfield all over the major platforms. But, we're there. Google Richfield. We'll come up top. And you can take it from there.
Oh, I can see why you're the boss, Adam. Thank you very much. And you can see why Richfield is so rich in education and everything that you may need to know when it comes to the world and, of course, that qualification of yours. And speaking of qualifications, my friend, of course, we've got a competition. It's Richfield and Expresso coming together. And this is why you've got to head over to our social media pages because waiting for you could possibly be a full academic bursary, my love, up to the value of 170,000 Rand, as well as a laptop that's valued at 5,000 Rand. And all you got to do is let us know whether it is X, Facebook, or even you jumping on to our Instagram and using the hashtag Richfield. We want to know what would be your dream qualification to study at Richfield given the opportunity. And just like that, you entered into the competition and that full academic bursary could be all yours. But you can't win if you don't enter. So do the right thing. All of the T's and C's that you do need are are at expressoshow.com, and I wish you all of the luck because it is such a huge thing. We know how big education is in terms of it being needed out there in South Africa, and this is your opportunity. Don't miss it. You're still on your Feel Good Breakfast show, and along with winning, we're doing many other things, but right about now, we're heading over to Cape Town, and Ewan's standing by.
Thank you so much, Zanele. Lovely stuff. What a competition as well. Listen, if you've just joined us, welcome. You are just in time. We're going to fill you in after the break about the Journey to Jazz Festival that's going to be kicking off the first week in the beautiful town of Prince Albert. You do not want to miss it. And as part of that festival, Darren English is here. He's going to be performing for us. And this is going to be a performance, if you love jazz, not to be missed. We'll see you after the break.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
Welcome back. I promised you the injection of some musical magic, and it's about to happen. The second annual Journey to Jazz Festival, because we've got to get there, is set to be a feast for the soul. I definitely think so. It's officially here, and all roads, as a result, lead to Prince Albert from the 1st to the 5th of May 2024. It's an incredible space that's going to become truly magical. As I said, and this morning we are joined by some of the driving forces behind it. Nelson and Tala from PACT, and he's the head of logistics for Journey of Jazz, who will be telling us a bit more about this incredible festival, because there's a lot going on, and then two amazing artists, Darren English, who we met just a second ago, and Cameron Ward, who we've known for a while, who's had an incredible journey in his own right, and they've been announced as acts that will be performing at this prestigious event. So let's give them a very feel-good welcome. Yeah. Oh, I mean, we're not a stadium full of people, but we try. We try, guys. So good to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. You're sounding exquisite, man. I can't wait for the people to hear you. Goosebumps all round. But maybe, Nelson, I must start with you, my friend. So welcome to TV Land. Thank you for being here. I think you must be so proud of what you, as an organization, PACT, have achieved, the fact that you're into your second year. So maybe tell us, who is PACT? What do you guys do? And maybe what this event means for you. Why is this so special?
Okay, PACT is the Prince Albert Community Trust, which is run by the youth of Prince Albert.
Brilliant.
We strive to do everything by the book and even more. We strive for excellence. And what this festival means for us is to drive and create the disruption in the community of Prince Albert by bringing people into the town so they can experience the artistic town and the tourism and what it has to offer to the world.
I love that, because that speaks in two directions. It's one thing bringing the tourists in who don't know. But for me, it's the kids in Prince Albert who don't know their potential, don't know the world around them, the opportunities that music and jazz can offer them. I'm seeing you, Cam, nodding your head there, buddy. I absolutely love the fact that you are part of this magical journey. What does it mean to you to be able to play in this kind of setting in a South African platform and flavor like this, man?
The platform and just being able to go there and perform as a South African makes me proud all by itself, and I'm just so happy and excited to perform for the people of Prince Albert. I'm looking forward. I'm amped up and I'm ready to entertain them to the best of my ability.
And that's, he's the sweetest man on earth. That's him being angry and aggressive. He's amped up. Okay, but be warned, you're going to see something unbelievable unfold on that stage. Darren, I've got to ask, because not a lot of young people, and so much of what you guys are doing, and especially through the Trust, is engaging with young people and opening their eyes. What drew you to the trumpet? Because you can do some amazing things with that trumpet, but where did it begin?
It actually began in high school.
Really?
Yeah, with my music teacher. And the bass player that's playing with me today, we actually started together with the same music teacher.
Look, there the goosebumps. I knew it wouldn't take long. So, what is the music teacher's name?
Fred Kate.
Fred Kate,
He's
you
a legend.
legend. Fred Kate, you legend.
And yeah, I started in high school in grade 8 and just kept up with it since. Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I think the world would have lost something truly incredible. Nelson, I know it's not just music. There is lifestyle elements to this. There's a lot going on in that space. Talk us through some of the other events. What are you most excited about at this year's festival?
I think I'm most excited about the masterclasses which will be taking place at the PEC Center. So the artist on my side will be actually giving the kids and the youth community of Prince Albert an experience about what they have as their skills. And also there will be other activities like stargazing, nature conservation walks, and people can explore the UNESCO renowned mountain of Soutbek Pass. That is actually one of my favorite mountains in the country.
Yeah, the goosebumps are just pumping now, man. I love it. I can see the love you have for the other young people in your area, in your eyes, dude. You are such a proud ambassador for Prince Albert and for the trust that you represent. Well done, man. I'm going to round off with you, Cameron, because you understand. I think when Jimmy Dludlo gave you that first guitar, took the interest, took the time, and invested in you as a mentor, it's a game changer. Why is it so important for artists to do the same?
I think why it is important because there's youngsters out there that can't do it for themselves. And if a great guy like the incredible and amazing Jimmy Dludlo didn't do it for me, I don't know where I would be if he didn't reach out his hand to me. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today, by reaching out, man, to that person, to that young boy or girl that can't do it for themselves, because I got that opportunity and platform. And I'm just doing my bit to share and stretch out my hand to say, this is it, this is how we do it, and welcome.
It's an endless chain in jazz. It's an endless chain. I love it. Darren, I'm going to go let you do what you do best, my friend. You can go and make your way to the stage. And gents, I'm going to thank you for doing what you do every day. I think you and I are going to connect on a lot of purpose-driven I think projects in your space, I have a feeling we are just scratching the surface with you, Nelson. I think there are big things coming. And of course, you get to plug into that magic. The Journey to Jazz Festival happening at the start of May. We'll keep all of the details up on our social media platforms. But everyone, all roads will be leading to Prince Albert to get a taste of truly exquisite jazz. But I think moreover for the young people, whether you live in that area or not, to see some of the best exponents of jazz do it beautifully. And we're going to get a taste of that right now.
Hi, this is a song entitled It Could Happen to You by Jimmy Van Heusen. 1, 2. on the piano and Benjamin Jaft on the bass joining me today. We're going to conclude now with a composition that I wrote for legend Jimmy Heath, and this is entitled Little Bird. 1, 2.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're tuning into a Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3. It is 8 o'clock. We have one whole hour still left in your company for this Tuesday morning. Right now, let's take a last look at your news headlines. Starting off with your national news, the head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, the Hawks, Godfrey Lebea, says more than 720 individuals have been arrested and there have been 220 convictions and sentences. Now, the high number of arrests were related to fraud, corruption and dealing in precious metals and diamonds. One case involved 3 people arrested in Parys in the Free State in November for the exchange of gold for cash. 16 nuggets of unwrought gold worth more than 4.5 million rand in cash were recovered. 2 accused made bail, but the third remains in custody. Then a ship, the Al Kuwait, carrying some 19,000 cattle, made a stop at the port of Cape Town on Sunday evening, resulting in a stench that polluted the CBD and areas including Greenpoint, Waterfront, Woodstock and even further down to Observatory. Now, the ship was loading feed bound for Iraq. The National Council of SPCAs has since reiterated its firm stance against the live export of animals by sea, saying the smell was indicative of the awful conditions the animals endure, having already spent 2.5 weeks on board with a buildup of feces and ammonia. Making international news headlines this morning, the number of African migrants who arrived in Mexico last year was 9 times higher than the year before. Some 60,000 migrants arrived from Africa in 2023, a huge jump from the previous year when 6,500 made the journey. Most of these migrants come from Guinea, Angola, Mauritania, Senegal, Nigeria and Cameroon. It is reported that the majority of African migrants that arrived in Mexico last year do not wish to build lives there, but wish to cross the border into the United States. And 26 of the 27 member states of the European Union have called for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. The head of foreign policy at the EU, Josep Borrell, says the 26 member states further demand that the temporary ceasefire should be extended to a sustainable ceasefire, that all hostages held by Hamas be released, and that urgent humanitarian assistance to the residents of Gaza be provided. Borrell did not disclose which member country is not part of the group. Meanwhile, the Israeli army is reported to have attacked Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. And we'll end up with this news. Oppenheimer was the top winner of the night at the 77th British Academy Film Awards in London, and Poor Things secured 5 awards. Now, Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr. and director Christopher Nolan were recognized for their contributions to Oppenheimer. Now, despite having Parkinson's disease, Back to the Future star Michael J. Fox surprised attendees by presenting the Best Film Award. And despite being in a wheelchair, the 62-year-old insisted on standing at the podium to hand the prize to Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, eliciting a standing ovation and moving many to tears, as you can imagine. David Guggenheim's film, still a Michael J. Fox movie, was nominated for Best Documentary but lost out to 20 Days in Mariupol. That's where we leave your news headlines for your Tuesday morning. Right now, let's quickly take a look at what is happening out on the roads.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Let's touch base with the traffic. And, of course, we have to start in Germiston and Johannesburg. We reported a little bit earlier, excuse me, on the congestion building on the N3 North. And that was due to a broken-down side tipper truck inside Galuli's interchange, causing heavy delays. You can see on the map on that graphic. Please allow for more travel time or use an alternate route. In fact, already the alternate route starting to clog up as well. So give yourself some travel time. We move down to Nyanga in the mother city in Cape Town. A stationary bus on the N2 inbound, that's near Borshard's Quarry ramp. The ramp lanes are obstructed, so please expect some delays there as well. Apologies for those delays. Ultimately, just get to work safely. Let's get into the weather. So let's get into some weather warnings and news first. And with extremely hot weather being experienced across the country, the South African Weather Service has once again forecast extreme high fire danger conditions expected in places over the central and western parts of the Eastern Cape, the central and Little Karoo that is cooking at the moment, the southern part of the Cape Winelands, our dominant fire zone, the Swellendam municipality of the Western Cape, then parts of the Northern Cape, the western areas of the Northwest, as well as the western parts of of the Free State. And the heat wave conditions resulting in persistent high temperatures over the Free State, the eastern parts of the Northern Cape, and then the south and west of the Northwest until Thursday. So it's not going to abate soon. And extremely hot conditions are expected in places over the central and Little Karoo of the Western Cape, and then the central parts of the Northern Cape, as well as the central and western parts of the Eastern Cape. What this means, be vigilant, please. If you see any fire activity, please report it. Now let's temper that news with one of your sunrise views. A massive thank you to Joanne from KZN. Boy, has KZN put her hand up today, just making us completely jealous, really. That is how you want to kickstart your day. And please share your morning view with us on 063-408-8863. We'd love to share it with the world. Well, we've warned you about some extremely high temperatures across the country. Let's get a bit more granular, find out what it's looking like in your neck of the woods.
It's fired up in South Africa, that's for sure.
Fired up is the word you can use, I suppose. Yeah. No, listen, take care out there, especially in those very, very, very hot areas.
Yeah.
And also, with regards to the fires, if you see something, report it immediately.
Yes, please do that. Now, what I also want you to do is get involved in something spectacular, because you could be living your dreams with the Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots, estimated at a total 60 million rand today,
That's
Papa.
a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Now, remember, you can play Powerball for an estimated 36 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 24 million rand. But if you want to stand a chance of winning the millions, yes, and I'll say it again, millions, then you need to get your ticket ASAP.
Yeah, now how do you do that? You can buy your tickets in store on the nationallottery.co.za website. There's the mobile app, cell phone banking, or you can simply dial *120 *7529 hash and follow the USSDs.
We've made it all easier for you as well. All those jackpot or ticket purchasing details are on our Expresso social media pages, so go check them out. 60 million rand in total estimated jackpots, and Powerball Plus jackpots are waiting to be won. Play now. Don't delay. Get your tickets. Buy an extra ticket.
And again, also stick around for the rest of the magic coming right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're talking about parenting chatbots that have entered the chat room.
Listen, Meg Fora has been doing the most over her journey, so we're going to sit down and connect with her as well, finding out what her journey has been like and about that chatbot, man. This is going to be interesting.
And then, of course, we got relationships going on here, work husbands, wives, bromances. We're going to dive into these conversations. Hopefully you have some voice notes to share with us about some crazy situations. We can't wait to chat to you straight after this. Don't go anywhere.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. As we said a moment ago, this morning we get to chat with one of our favorites. She has been so helpful through my parenting journey.
Both
I cannot
of ours,
tell you.
buddy.
I feel like we've got a free plug-in as well, which is amazing. Megan Fora, an occupational therapist and the founder of the Incredible Parent Sense, a platform that is a culmination of Meg's over 25 years of experience working with thousands of babies to provide insightful guidance to parents who desperately need that shoulder to cry on, that person to prop them up. And she's also written 8 incredible parenting books, including 2 bestsellers that share parenting science in an accessible and a very practical way. And her latest project is in the mobile health space. But we'll chat about that in just a moment. Meg, welcome back.
So good to have you.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I mean, I'm trying to think how far we go back, because I think you still gave me food advice for my youngsters when they were babies, and now they're 11 and 8.
Oh, there you go. Long time.
Yeah, Meg, what a journey. Let's unpack that journey a little bit. Sought after parenting expert, best-selling author. This journey of yours, how do you look back on it? I mean, it must be difficult to kind of just like sum it up in a minute or so.
Yeah. No, it's been an incredible journey. I mean, kicking off with writing Baby Sense, and I think that was kind of not planned to be a bestseller, obviously. I didn't know. And then when it became a bestseller, realizing that parents really needed like on-tap parenting advice. So that's kind of what the whole journey has been about, is delivering it where they need it, when they need it.
Because we're clueless, yo.
Yeah.
Parents
We
are
all are.
clueless.
There's no manual.
Yeah, exactly. By definition, a new parent is clueless. I think if you look it up, that's what it is. There is something about this process that you enjoy, because you could have gone a different route. Clearly, you have the potential to be able to do a lot in your space, but there is something I can see from the way that you've worked very closely with our own parenting journeys. You get something out of this.
Yeah.
Why did this need to be your calling? What is the purpose driving this for you?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it is all about assisting mums, particularly, but dads as well. And I think it goes back to my own journey. Like like most moms, you go into parenthood and dads, and you are completely lost. The anxiety levels are so high. You don't know what you're doing.
You're not sleeping.
You're not sleeping. You're trying to make decisions when you're sleep deprived. And I think my empathy for mums and dads is very, very high. And that's really what led me to it. So for me, if any parent is having a little bit of an easier journey, like sleeping a little bit better, and particularly if children are having a better outcome long term, then my job's done. And so yeah, it is, for me, it is actually more about the impact than it is about, the commercials or the kick that business gives you, which it does give you that kind of excitement. And but it has been very much about just making life easier for mums and dads.
No, absolutely, because it is a challenge. Like you said, it's clueless, and every baby is different. It's a different scenario, different households. There's so many factors at play, and this is why your advice has been so valuable. But now I want to focus on mobile health. And I mean, many experts believe in the field of mobile health. I mean, it has a lot of incredible potential, like you've tapped into as well. And globally, we know that healthcare systems are under strain. There's a lot going on in this space as well, and this leads to patients being unable to access reliable information. And information, we know, is key, especially when it comes to babies. So the unique roles in your mind that mobile health plays, how would you unpack that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, having written books, you can only reach a certain number of people. But the minute you move digital, which is what mobile health does, it's massively scalable and hugely impactful.
And they come to you.
And you want to meet parents, and this has actually always been my ethos, meet parents where they are. And right now, parents are on their phones. They're in their mobile devices, and that's where they're going to access information. The difficulty is, and this goes back, I'm going to say like 10 years ago, I'll never forget, I used to run Facebook chats all the time, and moms would ask me questions. And there was a mom who asked me a question. She said, look, my baby's 3 weeks old, it's got diarrhea, can I give it Energade? And I was like, no.
On what planet?
Like, you can't do that. But as crazy as that question sounds, like when you're completely lost, you're sleep deprived, you don't know what to do, you can't get hold of a doctor at 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't know what to do.
You just want to do something.
And you need to do something. And so for me, putting parenting advice into mobile devices and into technology was a complete no-brainer. But it had to be done very responsibly, because unfortunately parents are vulnerable and babies are more vulnerable.
Oh, completely.
And that means it had to be done responsibly. So, I stepped into the mobile health space with, first of all, the application Parent Sense, which is a parenting application that covers sleeps, feeds, play, and health. So it'll track your vaccinations, it'll help you track your baby's milestones. It gives you an activity for every single day. And if a mom does those activities with her baby, They won't have delays. It helps you to get your baby to sleep through the night. It gives you recipes. So it was kind of saying, let's put everything in the mom and dad's hands so that they can access information when they need it.
And I think this is a manifestation of what you've been doing. I don't think anyone else could have done this because they wouldn't have the body of work, the understanding of the market and the nuance of the questions. When you're going to create a chatbot that needs to be the front-facing kind of end of that responsibility, that role, that relationship, it's quite hectic. So how does the chatbot work itself? What have you put into the works there?
Yeah, so the first product we developed was the Parent Sense application, which was on Android and iOS. And then we decided last year, you know, when OpenAI came out with their ChatGPT, we then realized actually you could ask a chatbot questions and get answers. And I started to test it out, but a lot of the answers that were coming back were flawed. And for exactly the reason that you said, is that it wasn't taken from a body of knowledge that was responsible. So what we did last year is we set about actually developing a responsible chatbot. Now, in order for a chatbot to be responsible, it has to have almost like a ring fence around it, or we call them guardrails.
Yeah.
And we built it in what's called a closed loop system, which basically means that I load all of my knowledge from everything I've ever written for the last 25 years.
It can take it.
And it took it in. So we put it into about 2,500 documents. All my books, my chatbots, my Facebook answers, my podcasts, everything got ingested. And now the chatbot has certain guardrails that it can only answer out of my body of knowledge. So that means if a mum asks a question, and I can remember last year when ChatGPT first came out, I asked it, can I let my baby cry it out to sleep train it, which is not something I believe in and shouldn't really be done with babies. And ChatGPT said, yeah, just let your baby cry.
Because on the internet, there are thousands of validations of that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to your point, what ChatGPT does is it goes to the internet. And we didn't want it to do that. So
you want to make sure it stays within.
It has to stay within our, it had to have those guardrails. And so we put in all my information, and then the other thing we did was we put in a medical triage system, which means that if a mum asks a question that is medically dangerous, like my baby's fontanelle has closed and the baby's 2 weeks old, now that's a problem. So immediately the chatbot will then notice it as a red question.
Press that button.
And it'll say, you need to see a doctor today. And, you know, so we put in the medical triage plus the responsible data and the guardrails, and we've ended up with the most incredible tool. I mean, mums can use it and dads can use it anytime.
And I love that because, I mean, a mom and dad can literally then log on and you know that the information you're going to get is reliable. Because, like,
you don't have to cross-check it. Yeah.
Absolutely, because I think that's the biggest fear for parents because, I mean, you don't want to second-guess yourself once you get that information, which is amazing. So what are some of the advice that the chatbot gives? So what are some of the common things that you guys do see?
You know, it's quite amazing. We have a back end, everything's anonymous, so obviously for puppy reasons and data protection, but we can actually see the questions as they come through anonymized. And we get some incredible questions like, you know, my baby won't stop crying, what must I do? Or how much milk must I feed my baby today? And the chatbot, depending on where you're accessing it, actually knows the age of your baby. So for instance, if you access the chatbot inside the Parent Sense app, it knows the age of your baby, it knows if it was born prematurely, it knows how you're feeding it, breast or bottle or solids. And so it really has very nuanced, detailed information. If you ask your questions of the chatbot on WhatsApp, because it's on WhatsApp as well, then it'll actually ask you back, sorry, I don't know the age of your baby. So if you went on and said, you know, my baby's waking up at 4 a.m. and not going back to sleep, it'll say, okay, well, how old is your baby? And you would say 3 years old, and it'll go, okay, you need to try and do this and this, you know.
Which is exactly how you would do it yourself, which is mind-blowing to me. So two things. So I think we're talking to a tech billionaire right now. I just have that feeling, and you might have saved us all from Skynet or whatever scary AI we were all so worried about, because AI has the potential to be imbued with our love, our caring, our ethos,
100%.
if we provide those guide rails. I'm just thinking now of this quantum connection you've created to every parent, potentially, to do the work that you're doing. This is massive.
How do we access it? How do we get it?
So the app you get on the App Store or on the Google Play Store, and it's called Parent Sense. And then the chatbot you can actually get on WhatsApp. And I think we've hopefully got a QR code that's going to go up on screen.
Yeah, we'll keep that up for as long as possible.
There we go. It's on the screen right now.
Brilliant.
So you can quickly take a moment and scan it,
There you go.
open that camera and get yourself that
You
chatbot.
just scan it and it'll open up the WhatsApp. And then once you've opened it, you can actually just share it with any of your friends, because it's just like a WhatsApp contact.
No, I love it because, I mean, like I said, when it comes to that reliable information, I mean, we all do that. You know, when we have a little ailment or something, we jump onto Google and it's always the worst case case scenario.
Yeah, or it's
and it
clickbait
scares you.
you'll get.
It really does
Yeah.
scare you because it's also that's something that lives in your subconscious now, and especially if it comes to your child, something there's an issue and you read something off the bat and it is completely far off, but in the moment you try and make sense of it. So thank you for that. I think
I mean, it's really hard for parents because, you know, you go onto Google and it's just a tome of information. You know, I had a mum ask me a couple of months ago, her doctor said her baby is underweight and she must start to express breast milk and feed a bit more. And she came to me and she said, well, how much? And that's the problem, is that a doctor will put that out there, but the mum doesn't know how much. And so if she has to go into Google, she has to calculate it. Now she doesn't have to. She can pop onto the chatbot and say, my baby's 6 weeks old, how much express breast milk is the right amount?
Trust. I think that is the key thing here. Trust, because you've already proven that trusted relationship, and this just expanding that into a whole different space. It is amazing. I'm goosebumps for like the 9th time today. We love this because I know what it means, and Ewan can testify to that as well. Some of the toughest moments of my life have rolled around when new baby has come in and when you're exhausted and you've only got each other to prop each other up and you are reaching for answers. You need someone in your corner to have instant access like that. I'm thinking of all the antenatal groups out there that have been such a wonderful resource. This takes it to another level entirely. I love the fact that we get this plug-in, so congratulations. This is absolutely
good to see you as well.
Yay. Absolutely beautiful. If you're a new parent, just scan the QR code and get chatting. Ask any question you want. Put it to the test.
Absolutely love that conversation. Thank you so much, Meg, for coming through with that. And sticking to the theme of education, I think Oprah Winfrey said it best. Education is the key to unlocking the world, and it is the passport to freedom. And with the start of the academic year, some of your plans might not have panned out as you'd expected, but that doesn't mean you have to put your dreams on hold, because 2024 late registration is still officially open. We're talking about Richfield College, which is a private IT and business institution with campuses all over the country. And they want to help you own your future, because when you study with them, it's more than just a degree. Now, listen to this. It gets even better, because one lucky person stands a chance to win a full academic bursary to Richfield College, and that's up to the value of 170,000 Rand. And on top of this, also a laptop worth 5,000 Rand. It is absolutely incredible. I wish I could have got involved in this one, but if you want to, you can simply reply to the competition post on the Expresso Facebook, X or Instagram pages and tell us the following. What is your dream qualification if you could study at Richfield College? Now, don't forget to include the hashtag Richfield in your answer and follow the link on the competition post to fill out and submit an inquiry form as part of your entry. It really is that simple. Now, don't forget the T's and C's can be found at expressoshow.com, and all I'm wanting to say to you is get yourself educated and grab this incredible opportunity.
I was just thinking to myself, so many new parents are going to jump on the Baby Sense platform and that chat, but I hope we don't crash the whole system now. But it is a beast and it's ready to answer your question. So, yeah, so happy to be connected with Meg.
Cool.
Again, and of course, we want to have a little bit of fun in the emotional space now that we've been all responsible. So we're going to deal with work husbands and work wives. Does it spice up your life at home? How does your other partner feel about it? We'll get into that dynamic and hopefully help you a little bit.
And where's that line? Where's that line? So we're going to unpack that a little bit. And then, of course, as part of the Journey to Jazz Festival in the beautiful town of Prince Albert, we have Cameron Ward that's going to be performing for us. We have a whole ensemble there. Stick around for some epic music heading your way. Still on this Tuesday morning. We'll see you now. Welcome back. You are tuned into your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, right here on S3. It's a Tuesday, in case you didn't know, and you know what that means. We delve into the juiciest relationship topics, and it is a rather juicy one this morning. This morning's discussion was inspired by Usher and Alicia Keys' performance at the Super Bowl and their rather close work relationship. Now, the concept of work husbands and work wives, it is not a new concept, but it is definitely a concept that can ruffle some feathers in the relationship or at home as well. Now, joining us today for our relationship segment, Danielle Meyer, who is a mental health counsellor and media personality. We have also here Clarissa Kipiro.
Hello.
Hello. Yellow.
Morning,
Hi.
ladies.
Welcome,
Hi,
welcome,
good
welcome.
morning.
This could get spicy.
Yes, it could.
But let's keep it above board for now. We are going to be doing two parts of this conversation.
Yeah.
Firstly, let's just talk about relationships at work. What should it look like? What are these relationships supposed to be? Because there are relationships at work. They do help. Let's get that out the way first.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly think that relationships should be healthy in the workspace and outside of the workspace. And so leaning into the work wifey husband chat, I get how it can be something that comes about. You want to have a relationship where you can be collaborative, right?
Yes.
You want to also have a safe space at work that you can share ideas and open up to each other and make sure that whatever you're saying is being valued, which are kind of principles that also happen within a loving home. So I think it can be a good thing, but boundaries are
I think
so
this is where we are wanting to go this morning. The boundaries, that fine line, the transition from just being colleagues to what we now so call the work husband or work wives. How do we unpack that? What does it look like? And is there where does that line lie?
Where's the line?
Yeah, I think that's such an interesting question. Where are the boundaries when it comes to, personal versus professional? But I think why boundaries I think are so important is it helps us to distinguish what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, right, within the workplace. And I think the line is at that place where are we maintaining that professional etiquette and that boundary whilst at the same time still, having those healthy relationships at work. So I think it's so important to keep those boundaries in place so that you do have a healthy workspace.
Because it is still the workplace, first and foremost. And we would love to know from you at home. We put it out to you on social media as well. Go have a read at our social media comment this morning about work wives and husbands. What's your opinions on it? We'd love to know. 0634088863. Give us a voice note as well. Maybe you personally dealt with something like that in the past.
Yeah. I want to discuss the potential transition into the space in the first place, like becoming a work wife or a work husband.
Yeah.
What does that entail? How does it happen? Because I mean, obviously I would imagine the relationship grows.
Yeah. Yes.
To what point does it become, or do they become your work husband or work wife? Is that a legitimate space?
How do you become somebody's
How do I qualify?
Let's unpack it. What is the work
We don't sign up.
Honestly,
I think what's important to note is what are the key factors in that transition. So I think you're in the same environment, you're having all of these shared experiences all the time. So naturally that bond will start to form, right? So now we're establishing trust, we're establishing that communication. And then it can get into that slippery slope of, okay.
Yeah, and also if you consider that we spend, I don't know if it's still the same because we work from home quite a bit, but a third of our lives in the workspace, right? That's a long time. I've personally had a situation in the past where it kind of crossed boundaries with my partner and somebody he worked with. And they'd be on the phone all day talking about different things. And I was like, okay, at what point does it become... it's been 3 hours now. Like,
That's
wrap it
not
up.
work.
That's not work no more. Like, wrap it up. So I get that. It does become a thing about
I think it becomes also more complicated if one of the parties is in a committed relationship and the other's not. I mean, that's where I think it can get kind of blurry as well.
Because now you're considering the other person's boundaries too. It's not just about the two of you, right? It's also about how comfortable are they? What do they feel? How are they taking what you're saying? It gets tricky.
It gets trickier more so when you are in these situations where it's almost like want to use the word Stockholm syndrome, but like we go through a lot during work. You go through a lot of pressures, a lot of stress. Sometimes
shared experiences.
And
Essentially that trauma bond.
Trauma
because it's
bonding.
like,
Is that what it's called? Trauma bond. Okay, I wanted to get to that because it's a real thing. I mean, sometimes your significant other just cannot understand what you're going through.
the stresses.
You need your colleagues to come through and be that support system for you. How do you stay aware of the fact that like you need to not cross that line when it comes to support? Like you're going to be emotionally broken from something, you're going to be stressed. I want to be there for my work friend, husband, colleague, whatever, but where can I go too far with that? Where do I need to be aware of not crossing a line there?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a
grab
tricky
a
one.
beer with your friend. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be an invested relationship with, especially somebody of the opposite sex. I think that's also where it becomes tricky.
Yeah.
And I mean, as humans, we're naturally quite protective of our territory and our space. So
Our valuables.
Our valuables, you know what I mean? So when you push that boundary, when you cross that line, or at least like step close to it, it does become a bit uncomfortable.
Don't you think using the term work husband or work wife, and you kind of use that terminology in your outside of work life, I mean, that already I feel is almost like
No, it's dangerous.
it is dangerous, right? Because I mean, I'm just thinking the term it holds quite a bit.
I don't want my significant other to have another type of a husband, whatever form you're in. Nah, I don't know about that.
I think we've almost normalized that a little bit too much. And I think that's where we have to come back with the boundaries and say, you know what, that's not okay. Using those terms are not okay. And it's also to the benefit of your relationship that you have with your partner, right? And I think it's important to just know where those boundaries are and be transparent about those intentions as well.
So speaking of boundaries, Danielle, what if one of the parties catch feelings?
What if you cross that line?
How do you broach that scenario?
That's a tricky one, right? It's also a very realistic possibility at work. But I think the important thing is to realize what is the risk involved with this. So when we're thinking about forming those relationships at work, we have to consider, okay, what are the risks involved? Am I willing to put myself in this compromising predicament or situation? So I think in that moment, it's important to bring back those boundaries within those interpersonal spaces and say, listen, this is my workspace. That's my personal space. I'm going to compartmentalize those two and not cross those boundaries. And in the event of, take a step back, think about what it is that you're actually walking into and what the consequences of that would be. Right?
I think that's normally on the back end. People don't think about that. Yeah, it's always like in the here and now and what is happening, especially if you have a high pressure job.
And then it's too late to apologize.
Yes, yes. And it adds to making your workspace a manageable space. So you don't want to add to creating an environment that's, you know, it's not conducive, it's not healthy. There could be complications down the line. Just managing that workspace.
Well, look, this is delivered, to say the least. And we're going to carry on diving deep into this conversation and uncovering more spice, and especially when it comes to you, Mzansi, because we posed this question to you about work husbands, work wives, and the relationships that you have beyond your home, and we want to find out exactly what your answers are. So come through, let's see what G-Man has when he can uncover all the posts that have been coming through this morning.
Oh, fantastic discussion so far. So let's let the people weigh in. So we did put it to you, whether you have a work wife or work husband at your office that you connect with really well, that you have that chemistry with. And does your partner ever get jealous of that work relationship? And we want you, if you can, still share those voice notes, 0634088863, or hit us up on our social media platforms. So let's do a little bit of a trawl here. And we're going to head over to Facebook first, where Henny says, greetings, beloved Expresso humans. Right back at you, bro. I'm so glad I don't have a work wife. I only have eyes for my own. Peace out. Henny, I'm assuming your wife's watching right now. Nice one. Good job. Psychology study, CH says, and we've moved on to X for this one. It's a common thing these days, and most of the time it leads to dramatic encounters at the end, as people don't have limits these days. Our world is in a terrible mess, realistically. Wow, someone is going through some stuff. I'm glad that they are doing psychology studies, because it is true, man. The world's in a polarized crazy place. My work wife is my brother, and he judges my lunch selection every day, letting me know that I'll never find a wife with my diet. Sometimes maybe having those guardrails, to use a term out of place, in your life is a good thing. I rely on my work husbands like Ryle, like you, and to keep me in check. And to be honest, I think Lindsay is happy to hand me over to the gents every time I come to work. I love that. I don't particularly like this term because it doesn't give the proper respect and deference that the word husband deserves. Okay, we are having a little tongue-in-cheek fun with that. Having a co-worker who is a male that you work well with is fine. Never allow yourself to blur the lines of husband and co-worker. I would recommend that. Very wise, measured words, and I think that echoes what we've been speaking about. There have to be boundaries, there have to be lines, especially if you work in a very emotional place. That's called an emotional affair, and it's considered as cheating. In capitals, your work relationship must stay professional. It is an insult to your wife if you cross that line of professionalism with someone at work. I know how it feels because I've been that wife in a previous marriage. I think we could hear the experience coming through. An emotional affair usually leads to a physical relationship. So many flags raised through that comment, so thank you so much, Anonymous. Absolutely brilliantly put, and I think you can hear the venom there from having gone through the pain of an experience like that. Whether it leads to an actual physical engagement, just that emotional connection, that intellectual connection could be enough to start that fire. So we're going to continue our discussion with our amazing panel, and you keep those comments coming. We'd love to hear from you about your work husband or your work wife. We're going to take a quick break, and then we are going to hopefully build or repair or put boundaries in at the office. And then, of course, the incredible Cameron Ward and his beautiful ensemble. Look at that band. They're going to be playing just for us this morning. Stick around.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, Zanzi. Oh, it is absolutely magic right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's been 3 hours of pure bliss, an incredible conversation. Now, we posed the question to you earlier, and we're going to be back with part 2 of our relationship discussion for the day, dealing with the concept of work husbands and work wives. And we're going to be delving into some of these boundaries, some of the relationships, the emotions behind it. So Danielle Melia is here, along with mental health counselor and media personality Carissa Cupido, and we're going to dive more into this conversation, especially since Zanzi came through with some incredible opinions.
Look, we saw a good couple of comments there. I think also what we spoke about earlier, just the terminology, work husband, work wife, that doesn't go well or down well with a lot of people. Although I know, Graham, that Lindsay or even my wife wouldn't have a problem with me calling you my work husband or vice versa. But it is something that is top of mind, I think, for a lot of people, and for good reason as well. But I got to ask, are there, I think this whole conversation with regards to work husbands and work wives, there's a very negative connotation to it, if you look at it from the outside, right? Are there any beneficial factors to having someone like that at work. You don't have to necessarily call them a work husband or work wife, but I mean, that's what it's leaning to. Are there any positive things that can come out of a relationship like that?
Yeah. I think what's important to recognize is there are those certain support structures at work, and that could come in the form of a really great colleague or co-worker that you feel is a safe space for you at work, and that in itself can be something really positive. It can help you feel less isolated at work, less stress, something to look forward to within the workspace. So there are some positives,
I would say so. Also, it's okay for a girl to have a work wife. You know what I mean? I have so many sisters at work that we've really formed such a close bond. And it does help to just have somebody in your corner saying, you're not crazy, I understand, you're not alone, like I completely get where you're coming from and we've got this together, you know? I think communication is just always important because even within that, there can be boundaries crossed where now you're oversharing or you're doing a little bit too much. But as long as the comms are open and we're having the conversation about relax, like this is where I'm at right now, I don't have capacity or whatever it may be, I think that it can actually be beneficial and healthy.
Okay. There's the benefit of it, there's the fact that it can go right. And again, for me, I think it's really differentiating between those pivotal moments that really happen after a project or after maybe. And I've been in a situation where someone expresses their feelings to you or vice versa. You got to now deal with this, right? How do you respond to this? How do you deal with someone crossing that line? You on the other side, do you entertain it? Do you straight up shut it down? Potentially compromise the relationship you have? Do you say something like,
awkward space?
Look, if it wasn't for my relationship, I would be with you. You know what I mean? That's an answer you hear quite often. You see what I mean? This happens all the time. How do we deal with the situation constructively?
Sheesh. I mean, I would say, let's see how my man feels about this and then just get him on the line, you know? Let's have an open conversation.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't.
Welcome to the future. Wow.
That is, in his ideal world, that is what would happen. But I think if the feelings are not mutual and you're not trying to pursue anything, there really is no point in pursuing that any further. Like, you got to shut that down immediately without even giving them a glimmer of hope.
Just very visible boundaries and being very clear about what that is.
What if there is an inkling of a feeling there?
Ooh.
You know you're solid, you know you love your partner, but yeah, you do strike me as someone that I could, you know, what do you do?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
That's a tricky one.
Gosh, I think that comes back to a whole internal dialogue where maybe you have to.
Oh, the spice is coming out.
Therapy.
Let's just, work is not the space, I think, to explore that. Just because we have to be mindful of what are the dynamics. And I always say, how do you establish a relationship dynamic at work? Let the environment provide that context for you as to what that should look like. You know.
I love that.
Yeah, there's a lot to take in. There's really a lot to take in, but it really comes down. It really comes down to boundaries being set. I think for you as an individual, stepping into that workplace, knowing that there is somebody that's having a shared experience. Because I was just saying to Raul when we were off air, I mean, there's, you know, especially if you're in a high pressure, really high pressure environment where it's taxing and there's a lot going on, there's maybe not a way for you to fully convey that to your partner, and you know that there's a lack of understanding maybe, or that's how you feel, not necessarily it is, but to have that person. So you would say that boundaries are definitely an important thing, and that's what you need to step into as an individual.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's something you need to step into and know what they are first and foremost. We can't, you know, this is my boundaries, this is a yes for me, this is a no. Know what that looks like for you in the first place and then implement them.
And it really is a tough one because I mean it's not so much just about that work husband work wife relationship. I mean I'm just thinking about the external factors that can potentially lead to crossing that line. High stress, fatigue all the time, depression in the workplace. All of those factors can play into the negative aspect of that terminology.
I think we just have to explore healthier outlets, you know, and kind of lean on, look, we get healthy coping tools, unhealthy coping tools, and maybe you could look at alternatives. So, you know, like I said, therapy, going out with a friend.
Go for a run.
Having a close friend that you can confide in, rebuilding that trust with your partner to discuss those work stresses rather than this is my only option for an outlet, you know.
And sometimes you have to kind of burn yourself and learn, like that also happens. And there is collateral damage and you kind of have to assess it then. But you know, it's life. Like these things do happen.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard. You don't plan it, you don't predict it.
Yeah.
It's something just happens. But I think first and foremost, I mean, you need to be sharp enough to be able to remove yourself from that situation should it arise with regards to work husband or work wife.
Yes.
But I mean, having a little bromance at work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stick to that.
It's approved. The fishing's been approved.
Yeah.
Well, listen, this
Can you feel it?
Love is in the air.
This conversation's been pertinent to say the least. I think there's a lot of grey areas when it comes to these relationships, when it comes to crossing that emotional boundary and then also damaging something called trust, which is the most important thing with any relationship. So
100%.
I think above all, you've spoken about the things that can go against that. And I think supporting that is communication. It's being honest with yourself and your partners and not wasting anybody's time. So nailed it today. Absolutely got the brief. I'm going to go apologize to a few people in the workplace right now. But I want to say thank you. That was such an incredible conversation.
Thank you guys
I've been
so much.
educated and I hope you have too, Mzansi.
Oh, buddy, just watching your beautiful faces throughout that entire conversation, you can see how real it gets. I love it. I'm just thinking maybe there's that moment where you win the lotto, you're next to your work wife or husband, and then you hug and embrace, and it's all awkward and weird. So just step away from them if you're going to read your lotto numbers, because you could be winning massively today with Powerball and Powerball Plus. The jackpots are estimated at a total 60 million rand. Let me say that again, 60 million rand. So let's break it up. Powerball, 36 million rand. Powerball Plus, a cool 24 million rand. But you need to be in it to win it. If you want your chance to get your hands on those millions, you've got to get your ticket, or a few tickets, I think, for this one. And you can buy them in store. You can go onto nationallottery.co.za online. You can use their mobile app, which is great. You can use your own cell phone banking app, or you can dial *120 *7529 hash for the USSD. It really is that simple. And we'll keep all of those jackpot and ticket purchasing details on our Expresso social media pages. We can't give you the winning numbers, but we can certainly motivate you. 60 million rand in total estimated Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots are ready to be won. So play now. It could be you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So a little bit earlier on the show, welcome back, by the way. Hopefully we haven't destroyed your work relationships or your home relationships and gave you something to navigate that space. But right now we're going to bring peace and love to the space. We had Darren English performing a little bit earlier, and now Cameron Ward is stepping in with his guitar. The things you could do with that guitar will make you the winningest winner of all, buddy. It's amazing to me seeing you do what you do. We've spoken about the relevance of this event for the people of Prince William. We love the fact that there is an opportunity for the youth to drive this. Absolutely. But there is music, lest we forget. How do you go about building a playlist or curating your set for a festival like this?
Well, basically what I normally do is I would look at the audience, the city that we are visiting, and take it kind of from there to see what will work and what will not work, and put the set together and make sure that the set that we're doing has a great impact on the audience.
So Prince Albert is going to get its own flavor, its own style. I love that.
Yes.
You get an opportunity to share the stage with some incredible music. You've got some of the best in the business here today. Thank you so much for being here. We get to see these guys come in, and they only step in with the top tier. So I get that. I understand. So take that on the shoulder. But what is it like for you to be able to share in these moments with your brothers, your sisters, and especially when you see those coming up kind of in that chain behind you? What do these moments mean to you as an artist?
It's always special. I look to them as family. You know, we're a big family. I love them dearly, two bits. And without them, I am nothing. So I owe everything that I do to this amazing.
Look, he's a cry risk as well, buddy. He's a cry risk as well. So just very quickly, the details again. How can people plug in? I know the beginning of May. How do we get our tickets? How do we make sure that we get
tickets
there?
are available online. If you don't have your tickets as yet, please do get your tickets ASAP. We do not want them to miss out on this beautiful festival. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. Come out with the family. You're going to have the time of your life.
Literally. And you probably hear the time of your life played at some point during the day. And I think added to that, there are master classes. There are so many elements speaking to the social development of the young people in Prince Albert. So I think it is a massive opportunity for music to do what it does best. And that's unify and inspire. So I'm going to let you do that right now, my friend. Give you one last embrace for the day. I love you guys so much. You're amazing. Thank you so much for blessing us with your talent. And that's where we're going to leave it. The incredible Cameron Ward and his amazing ensemble. Enjoy.
Thank you. The song we're about to do is called Follow Your Heart. Seeing that we are still in the month of love, whatever you want to do today, please do follow your heart. Here we go. We're about to do, thank you. Because we're still in the month of love, the next song we are about to play is called Love. Hold on to your seats and enjoy the song with us. Here we go.
To nausea and cramps and say hello to delicious freedom with Nolax range of lactose-free milk and yogurt. Be free with lactose-free.
Another feel-good production.